The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
What's going on here?
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
I'm ready for the weekend.
It's gonna be a banging party.
Don't take this personal, but I hate that your desk is next to mine. After 40 hours of hearing you bitch, let me make one thing clear. The last thing I wanna do is go get a beer. So F you till Monday, don't call and ruin my weekend. F you till Monday, we're co-workers, not friends. And F you till Monday, or politely said go screw. F you till Monday, how did all the layoffs skip you? I see you more than my wife and kids, so when 5 o'clock hits, know this. F you till Monday, F you till Monday, F you till Monday. Showtime!
I'll be damned. We got to get in there. It's that time again. Welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. We've proven everybody wrong again. We made it to the finish line of another perilous 3-day work week.
It was grueling, wasn't
So
it?
suck on that, doubters. Take a big bite of that. And we got lots to tackle today before we can call it good and tap dance our happy asses out the door. We gotta, there's Cubby over there. What's up, Cubby?
Morning.
We gotta cough up a few more tickets to Sunday night's Metallica concert. Be listening for your chance, by God. Tonight, of course, is the first of 2 shows. Do you think they'll get a decent crowd tonight for that first show?
Well, you know, they booked 2 at our largest venue, so I'm going to say no. They overshot their shot.
And it was kind of last-minute booking, too, you know? I don't think people realized this was coming.
No, there wasn't much of a warning on this. You think they'll get a decent crowd?
I changed my mind. I think they're going to do all right. They're a relatively popular band. That's the first band I remember where my dad decided he liked. And I was very confused because I don't know if it was the same for you guys, but I didn't want my parents to like anything I liked. Because then I assumed that made me very uncool. And as you guys know, I'm damn cool.
Yeah, you are.
So I don't know, I had mixed feelings at that point. I liked being able to bond with my father a little bit, but I didn't want to bond over heavy metal music.
No, that's weird.
Do you think he was just trying to bond with you, or do you think he genuinely enjoyed it?
You know, I never considered something like that. Maybe he was lying his ass off.
It might have been fake love.
I mean, my dad went to Woodstock. He was like into that kind of stuff. You know, he'd listen to the Beatles and Joan
so
Baez.
cool.
and-
Well, tell us about this moment where he expressed an interest in Metallica. I've never heard you talk about this.
Well, it could be because at the time, all I did was play guitar and get together and jam with friends and stuff. And my friend Shane is the best drummer I've ever known. I don't know why he's not a famous drummer. He's incredible.
He was very good.
Yeah, he still plays.
He screwed up.
He did. He was in a band that ended up getting popular for a little while. They blew up, and he quit the band.
Was it laziness?
No, his wife made him quit the band because he used to date the lead singer.
Oh, no.
So he quit the band right before they blew up.
Oh, that stinks.
Within like 2 weeks.
Would we know this band that he quit?
I think he would, yeah. Well, it'd be more of a solo artist. So she, it was kind of named after her for a while. There was a band they were in, and then she's the one that got famous.
We're talking about someone who we hear on the radio and we see on television?
Oh, you used to, yeah.
Oh, so what about Shane?
So he was in my band, right?
Yeah.
Where I was in his band, however you want to put it. And we played some Metallica, and Shane could play everything. I mean, he really could. And I know everyone's like, oh, I got a buddy who's good. you would agree with me if you saw him play.
I've seen him play. He was that damn good.
Yeah, he can do anything.
Yeah.
And so I think, my dad was, he liked coming to see us play and stuff like that, and we used to play out quite a bit. And so some of the Metallica stuff he really liked, and then he would listen to it, because at the time I wasn't old enough to drive when we first started, so he'd drive us some places, and he'd let me listen to my music, and Metallica was one he commented on quite a bit.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Like the Black Album. He wasn't, anything before that was a little too much for him, but once the Black Album came out then, at that point, he was kind of into that.
Well, that's really interesting. My folks, my mom was the type who might enjoy, some of the music I listened to as a kid. My friggin' dad, not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. Every time he had to walk into my bedroom and look at all my Kiss posters, he would just roll his eyes, and he just thought I was just the dumbest kid.
Because of the look, more than anything?
Yeah, because he had no idea what they sounded like.
Oh, yeah.
He would just look at the posters on my wall and just look at me as if to say, you're an idiot.
And guys of that generation weren't necessarily fans of long hair on guys.
No. So that's really interesting. Your old man got tuned into Metallica a little bit. So Sunday's show, we can hook you up with some tickets to Sunday's show. You know what? Let's say you're not terribly familiar with Metallica's stuff. I can't imagine not knowing at least something or another about a band who's been around as long as they have and has had as much success as they've had. But let's say you're not. Watch the music video for one. It will likely change you forever. If you've never seen the video, never heard the song, I have gotten a big kick out of, over the last couple of years, someone introduced me to the YouTube gimmick where people will react to songs or videos that they've never heard of before. Okay?
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Someone introduced me to this concept, and I've had a really good time now and again on YouTube watching people discover all kinds of bands. But one of the most interesting is to watch people react to the music video to one if they've never seen it before and are not familiar with Metallica. It leaves people in tears.
Oh, absolutely. That's such a good video.
That was a massive, massive thing. A lot of times when I think of,
I love that song.
Oh God, it's an incredible song. A lot of the time, if ever I think back to the early days of Metallica when they first started to gain some steam, I think back to that music video. That was such a massive deal because Metallica said at one point or another, we'll never make a music video. We don't care for MTV. We don't need it. We don't like it. And then they went ahead with their first video, which was one, and it still is, just brilliant. And it will, if you're unfamiliar, it'll knock your D in the dirt. Using footage from the old war movie, I believe was it called Johnny Get Your Gun, Billy Get Your Gun? It was some old war movie. They sprinkled in the footage of the war movie with the band performing the song. It's just, to this day, I remember there's a portion of the video where the little boy says to his father, "What is democracy?" And the dad says, "I think it has something to do with young men killing each other." And the little boy says, "The next time around, would you want me to go?" And the old man says, "For democracy, any man would give his only begotten son." Okay? It's this very serious music video. And when you watch people watch it for the very first time, it takes their breath away.
The guy who directed it, he did a lot of videos. Michael Solomon, I think was his name. He's a Wisconsin guy. I remember thinking that was pretty cool.
He's a Wisconsin guy.
Yeah, and that video is still heralded as one of the best of all time. I was reading a bunch of Metallica stuff the other day, and they talked about how on pretty much every list, it's in the top 100 best videos of all time.
How could it not be in the top friggin' 10? All right. At 8:15 this morning, for the second time, we've beaten the odds makers here too, Josh. First, we made it to the end of a 3-day work week. Here's where we beat the odds makers again. At 8:15 this morning, professional veterinarian Dr. Andrea from Gurman Animal Hospital in Minnetonka will be coming in for her second visit to the Half-Ass Morning Show. A lot of folks didn't think it would happen that way. A lot of folks thought she would get a load of us and never come back again. But we had a really good time with her a couple of weeks ago. We're going to do everything we can to make this a regular thing. So feel free to text us now if you have a question for the vet about your house pet, your dog, your cat, your cow, your pig, your goat. Did I say dog?
Yeah.
Your dog.
You also said goat, too.
He said that as well. Although she did say she's not necessarily an expert on some of those animals.
True.
So maybe more dogs and cats would be her style, but she said she's willing to try anything.
Willing to try anything, but yes, you're right. Her specialty is the dogs and the cats. A great vet. I've been her client for many years, and a great person and a lot of fun. Like I said, we had a good time a couple weeks ago. We're going to go for it again. 8:15 around this morning. 8:15. Dr. Andrea. We're down 2 players this morning. Wapple is out today. He's undergoing some psychological exams, I believe.
No. He's on a golfing trip.
Trying to pinpoint just exactly what is wrong with that dude.
He'd be gone longer than a day if that was the case. This is just a golfing trip.
And Randy Shaver is also off today. He is not feeling well.
No.
He is not.
Poor guy.
And Dana, we were talking about off the air. You don't have to text him back at 3:15 in the morning to let him know it's cool.
Dude, that was funny. Okay, so I get here this morning. Where am I? Let me open up my cellular Oh, look, the wife. Let me open up my cellular telephone. Randy Shaver sent a text last night at 20 after 11. Sorry, guys, I'm really sick, and I won't be on the radio Friday. He sent that to me, all of us, right? To Brad Ryder, Cubby, me, Ashley, Wapple, Dana responds at 3:15 a.m.
I grabbed my phone. It's the first thing I saw, and I just instinctively responded to the message, and I go, dang it.
Yeah, it's okay not to get back to something like that.
What's your name again? Dana.
Dana.
Don't be bothering any of us at 3:15. I can just imagine Randy is just cold sweats. He can't sleep. He's vomiting. And right as he begins to fall asleep, his phone goes, boo-doo-doo-doo. And it's, Dana says it's all good and I can stay home from work today.
By the way, you scared I'm brushing my teeth, right? And then I get this text from Dana, and I thought, oh, no, we're in so much trouble. Wapple's gone, and Dana's running the board today. So I thought you were texting in sick or something, too. I thought we were totally screwed. But now you were just sending an unnecessary text at 3:15 in the morning to a guy that feels like crap.
Yeah, I regret that one. I guess I always assume that everybody's like me. I never have a ringer on my phone unless it's like an emergency and I'm expecting a call or a text. I don't even have the vibrating on my phone, so it's always just silent. So I always assume that other people have that same thing going on, but I guess that shouldn't be something I just bank on.
That was silly.
Yeah, well, that was pretty funny. Regarding texts, I saw a texter that I've never heard this Jesus name before. Your mom is stuck in my dryer, Jesus.
My
Good one.
goodness.
You guys taught me about that thing.
What did he have to say?
He texted, talking about Metallica. Looking forward to Metallica. A friend of mine sent me speaking of that stuck in the dryer thing, he sent me a meme, I guess, of a cow that is stuck under a fence.
Okay.
Oh,
And
no.
there's another cow that's right behind it saying, help me, step cow, I'm stuck.
Oh, no.
It's step parents usually, right?
Yeah.
Yucky.
Back to Metallica, and I was going on and on about the one video from 1988. Ask me about CrossFit Jesus. Texted in to say, my wife can't listen to the song One because of the music video.
It's a powerful video, to say the least.
I'm going to have to watch it. I've never seen it before.
What the hell did you just say?
I know, I'm sorry.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
I don't want to cry.
That is shocking.
Well, it came out when I was 4.
Well, even
yeah,
so,
of course.
it's kind of, like I
Yes, but
said, it's been over and over and over again. People talk about what a great video it is.
I mean, you have all these that excuse worked in 1963. Now you have YouTube and documentaries and on. You can look anything up nowadays. What else is going on?
Yeah, if you have a half hour, watch that music video.
Yeah, right. It's a
It's like
keeper.
a movie.
All right, before the nonstop laughter takes over the program, right, Josh?
It'll start at some point.
Before the nonstop laughter, we old school 80s rockers are in mourning today. A guy who, he put on a lot of miles in the rock and roll business over the last 50 years.
Well, when did Great White start? Like 81, something like that?
I thought they got it going in the 70s, but, 45, 50 years, whatever. One of the, dude who had seen it all, done it all, and endured one of the greatest tragedies in music history, has passed away. Jack Russell, lead singer of Great White, has passed away. I did not know this until I read a text message from a listener this morning. What happened, Josh? I know the man has been in questionable health for quite a few years, but was there something specific?
Yeah, it was dementia and atrophy. And he announced last month that he had this going on. He said, I got to stop touring, and then he passed away yesterday.
That's awful.
Interesting and sad. And unfortunately, the story of Great White will forever be kind of a dark story. Because of what happened in Rhode Island. Oh, God, how many years ago was it now?
2003.
Over 20 years ago?
Yeah. Because they had, for the 20th anniversary, there's been plenty of documentaries. I was just telling Nick off air, I watched one a couple weeks ago, and that is a very difficult watch.
I can't do it. I can't get through an entire documentary on that story. It is so heartbreaking and so awful.
And just the 20-some years later, all the heartbreak and feelings, and you watch people who survived, and that's really difficult to watch them having memories as if it just happened the day before. You see some video, you know what happened. There's video from inside the club. There's first responders talking about what they saw. Absolutely awful.
I remember
100 people died.
Yeah.
Of course, we were broadcasting on this program the morning after, and I will never forget that morning when the news feeds or whatever you call it in the industry started to pop up early that next morning on what had happened at that Great White concert in a little club in Rhode Island called The Station. Was that the name of the joint?
The Station, yeah.
Just absolutely horrible, tragic. And, I wonder if, well, I'm not wondering. Obviously, if you're Jack Russell or any member of that band who was on stage that night, there's no way you can ever forget something like that.
Well, we were also talking about this a little bit off there. He called in kind of out of nowhere. I don't remember exactly what year. It was a long time ago, though.
I believe it was before this tragedy happened.
Oh, it was after. It was definitely afterwards because he had brought it up. He was really wasted. He called in like at 5-something in the morning, and he was obviously very troubled by it. It was tough to talk about.
Geez.
If you watch the document, the most recent one, it's tough to know who to blame, right? Everyone for lawsuits and different reasons.
Right.
There's so many people that are involved. There was one guy in particular, some sort of manager that got blamed for it. Because if we didn't already say, some pyrotechnics set this terrible fire. There was egg crates and around the stage, right, for sound reflections, try and absorb some of that. And it was not fire retardant. And so it started this fire, and there was a door that was locked that wasn't supposed to be locked. And apparently the nightclub had been talked to about this before. Hey, during a show, you can't do that. And if I remember right, it might have been oversold as well.
Yeah.
And so anyways, this particular manager who even the victims' families agree, hey, this guy shouldn't be punished. And he was punished the most, this particular guy. So, I mean, they said he might have some liability, but he became the scapegoat, as well as the owners, certainly, Jack Russell. They went after him as well.
Yeah, sorry. I guess I assumed everybody knew the story. It's crazy to me that it was 20 years ago, but, I mean, it just so happened that evening there was somebody in the venue filming a documentary on this or that. I think they were filming a documentary on the history of the club or something like that, and so there's footage of this fire started and it spread so fast, and it was just beyond imagination how horrible it all turned out. And, the last time I saw Jack Russell in concert was a couple of years ago up there at Medina Ballroom, and it was a little difficult to watch. He was quite immobile. He sat for most of the show, and at one point he fell off the chair he was sitting on. And it wasn't because of liquor or anything like that. It was just because the man was having trouble carrying himself. Like I said, I knew he was struggling over the last number of years, health-wise. Very sad to learn of his passing. Because I never was a huge Great White fan. Although you can't deny that in 1987, if you were around in 1987, Rock Me was massive. That song was absolutely massive. And it's a great song. It's a great song. Every once in a while, I'll go a stretch of time without hearing the song Rock Me by Great White, and I'll hear it again and I'll say, wow, they friggin' nailed that damn song. But if it wasn't for the station nightclub tragedy, what I would say about Jack Russell, the first thing that would come to mind is, they really, Great White, really, they tried like hell, kind of like Twisted Sister, started in the 70s and just could not catch a break. And then finally did with that big Rock Me single, like Twisted Sister finally caught a break with We're Not Gonna Take It. And they finally got there. I always thought of Great White as kind of a story of perseverance. And again, if it wasn't for the tragedy in Rhode Island, that would be the story that people tell. I always felt good for that band because I know that they just could not quite get a grip, but they finally got that big hit.
Well, and then their cover of Once Bitten, Twice Shy, that was huge, too. That was all over MTV. Yeah. That was on the radio constantly.
That one went mental as well, so... And also, again, for you 80s people, Greg Kihn is gone. By the way, how old did Jack Russell make it?
63.
He was 63?
Mm-hmm.
That's shocking. Oh, I thought he was so much older than that.
Well, he wasn't looking good. Maybe that's why. Or just for how long he's been in the business.
That shocks me. Greg Kihn hit 75 of the Greg Kihn Band. Again, not a band I was ever wild about, but you can't deny, at least for a brief moment, in the early 80s, he had it cooking. I still, to this day, I love the breakup song. I love the tone of the song, the vocals, the beat, everything. If some of you younger people are saying, what's the break? Well, they're broken up, but they're about an hour before. They don't ride them like that anymore. Does that do anything for the younger people?
Yeah, I recognize it.
There's, of course, Our Love's in Jeopardy. That one really never grabbed me. But the breakup song, great tune. Greg Kihn. And he always came off like a pretty happy, effing good man. He did.
He made it to 75. I'll be happy if I make it that long. I don't think I will, but if I could make it to 75.
I don't know why you always say that. That is so
the men in my family hit 65 and they're done.
Yes, I know that, but they all smoked and drank. Look at you.
Yeah, you're healthy as heck.
Look at you. For Christ's sake, I bet you make, and of course, I have reason to think there will be an early demise in my future.
No, I don't think.
I have reason.
Look at your parents made it a long time, and they didn't treat themselves very well. So, I mean, I think you've got some genes that They're going to keep you around no matter what you do to yourself.
You need to stop this doomsday vibe.
Oh, it pisses my wife off.
Because, for God's sake.
Because she'll say, hey, we should do this when we get to that age. I'm like, well, you can.
Over the love
I'll
of
be
Christ.
dead by then.
You're going to live to be so friggin' old and worthless, it's going to be pathetic. Aren't you glad I could give you that good news?
Yeah,
you are
thanks so
going to be
much.
just a pathetic pile of flesh that can't move a muscle way into your 90s. Way into your 90s. You will be...
I want to live that. I want to see grandkids, great-grandkids. Right now, I have a grand-dog. Did you guys know that?
Oh, I didn't. That's
Yeah.
exciting
That's
news.
fun. Yeah.
His name's Tommy. He's named after Tommy Lee. He's
Cute
my
name.
my grandson dog.
a grand...
So I like to spoil him.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
explain how
My
does-
oldest, he's got a dog. So
Oh. That's how you become a...
so yeah, hopefully there's some marriages and kids soon. I can't wait. My wife claims, oh no, I'm far too young for something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're crazy. She's baby crazy. She'd love it. I personally cannot wait.
You'd be a great grandpa, Josh.
Well, no, I'd just be a grandpa. That's how that works.
Oh.
A great grandpa would be if my grandkid.
You would be a wonderful grandpa.
I know, I'm busting your balls.
I know, I phrased it very poorly.
You would be a great grandpa, he said.
Here's a guy that doesn't know how families work.
If your grandchild has a child someday, you will be a great grandpa, Josh.
I know, I can't wait.
All right. Well, before you die, Josh, suddenly and shockingly and so young,
You never know.
should we go ahead and give away some Metallica tickets now, or should we wait?
Well, let's do it now. When we...
I say we wait.
Oh, I love
I'm
rewarding
kidding.
the early morning brotherhood.
The Early Morning Brotherhood, they're a good crowd. Right now in the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, text JAR, J-A-R, and you text it to the number 651-989-9393 for your chance to win tickets to Metallica Sunday at U.S. Bank Stadium. Prize furnished by Live Nation. Oh, they're going to play this. They're going to play that. They probably have some pyro in the mix. Kirk Hammett likely brought his wah-wah pedal.
I hope he brought a backup wah-wah. Boy, does he get crap for that.
Look at all the tour buses coming to town. Who is it? Oh, it's Metallica. Man, look at that. Look at all the tractor trailers. Hey, what's that one van there? It's like a regular-sized van. That's got all of Hammett's wah-wah pedals in it. If you're
I kind of feel bad for. I saw somebody. I saw like the equivalent of a TikTok video. I don't remember where. Somebody sent it to me, and there was a fan like heckling him about it, and he didn't look happy. Kirk Hammett, he gets a lot of crap for that.
It's going to be unbelievable. Again, good luck. 651-989-9393. Text the word JAR. And thank you, Live Nation, for all of your support in providing these terrific prizes to our listening audience. We got to take a break. We'll be back in a couple minutes. You're listening to the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Are you tired of losing your fantasy football league year after year? Lindsay Rhodes, Emmy-winning sportscaster and football analyst, is your new secret weapon on the Believe Fantasy Football Show.
Watch the quarterbacks and his ADP. I think he has massive high-end upside.
Get expert analysis on player rankings.
Wide receiver 22 in fantasy, Cecil Shorts.
That kid can run, so I'm thinking he can have a breakout season this year.
And you can too by searching the Believe Fantasy Football Show. That's BLEAV wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
This could be fun right here from the get-go. By damn, it could. To see where you folks go with this scenario. What you might do if you were in this here situation. Not just the 2, 3, 4 of us sitting around here at the radio station, but, of course, our listeners as well. Text in 651-989-9393 is the number. Once you get the gist of the story, I'd love to hear how a few of you might handle this. I believe we're in Virginia here, Josh.
We are.
Not the town up north there with the sawmill and the this and that, but the forgettable state over there on the east side of America, Virginia. Something pretty damn interesting happened to a gal over there. Oh, she goes by the name of Jan Quirtabiddy. No
That's
kidding.
Interesting.
Quirtabiddy. That's the last name. Did you hear that, Ashley?
It's kind of cute.
Jan Quirtabiddy. A friggin' car. Out of nowheres. 2 o'clock in the godforsaken a.m. A car came just a-ripping through her damn property. The car smashed through her fence. All the way through her above-ground pool.
I bet that was awesome to see.
And
Good
then
point.
smooth into her deck. Josh, you ever take a car to your deck?
No, I have not. Thank goodness.
What have you been hitting the deck with? There have been plenty of things, I bet, that have hit you in the deck.
Well, a gentleman never tells, but
Fair enough.
wife, hand. Hers,
Jan,
mine.
I'm sorry?
Hers, mine. I mean, combination.
Sure. Jan Quirtabiddy, the property owner, she said about this car that came blasting through her property. He was going awful fast, she said. The cops told her maybe 100 miles per hour. She said, at first I thought it was a tornado. And yeah, I bet you've got to be going 100 miles an hour. You got to be to make it through an above-ground pool. Now, it doesn't state here whether that pool was filled with water. If that's filled with water, that probably should have killed the guy on impact, all that weight. The weight of the water. I don't know. You tell me. Is this the liquor talking?
I mean, yeah, it's possible. I don't know how easy it is to explode the shell of a pool, an above-ground pool, but
I bet it is pretty easy to explode the shell, but just the weight of that water. Maybe I don't understand science, and I'll just keep going here. Maybe 100 miles an hour he was going. God dang it, that scared me to death. Absolutely took me by surprise. Dude was driving a 20, then 17 Dodge Charger. Sounds like a cool ride.
Mm-hmm.
Bombing through her yard. So here we go. Here's where, if you care enough to let me know, what would you do in this situation? When she went on outside and confronted the driver, who was good to go. He wasn't killed, dead, or anything. She talked to the driver. He made her an offer. The dude said, if you don't call the cops, I'll give you $50,000.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
Dude apparently said he's rich, bitch. His daddy is a millionaire. He can easily hand her the monies. Don't call the cops, and I will give you $50,000. What do you think? Would you take it?
I would hesitate for a second because that sounds good. Now, keep in mind, I have a history. I lost a lot of money to a Nigerian prince, although he told me he was that, and it turns out that wasn't the case. Mm-hmm. But I'd imagine, well, at first I'd wonder, does this guy got 50 grand? He's probably full of crap. Secondly, I'd think, I bet this is going to cost around 50 grand. How am I going to explain what happened? I'm just going to lie to the cops if they show up or something. Somebody else called the cops. I'm just going to say, I don't know. It must have been a tornado nobody else knew about.
Crazy.
Of course, there's Dodge Charger parts all over the place. I think I'd skip that.
I mean, it's iffy. Like you said, you don't know if the guy's telling the truth, but if somehow, some way he could prove to me on the spot Like maybe he just pulls that 50 grand smooth out of his pocket.
He's got a suitcase of it.
I would seriously consider it. So what? I lost my fence. I lost my stupid above ground pool that the lady probably never got into anyway. Above ground pool. I know a couple people. Yay, we have an above ground pool, and it just became a toilet for neighborhood ducks. You know.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be pretty expensive.
Did I lose my deck?
Yeah, you're talking a lot of money.
Decks aren't cheap.
More than 50 grand. It's got to be more than 50 grand.
Okay.
She might have lost some landscaping. A couple of hostas, maybe some fescues. Goodbye.
Great idea. Great idea here on what you might do in this situation. Great idea from Hot Cocoa Sheezes, and might I add again, Wawa Weewa. Kidnap the guy and haggle for more.
She's the best. This person says he'd take the $50,000 and then call his ass in. Yeah, how about you give me $100,000, or I tell the cops you were trying to commit some fraud here, or whatever it would be.
You go against the deal, you take the 50 grand, and then you call the cops.
Here's another good point from the brother and sisterhood. If he had $50,000 on hand, he stole it.
And if he has a rich dad who's a millionaire and who has the type of money, if you kidnapped him, I bet his dad really wouldn't pay the ransom. I think he'd be like, all right, no, go ahead and keep him.
And Cheesehead for Life Jesus said, so if his dad's a millionaire, why is he driving a 2017 Dodge Charger?
He's not the favorite child, maybe. He's not the favorite child. Well, yeah, it's a hell of a situation that likely none of us will ever find ourselves in.
Never.
Well, Jan Kurtabidi, she said yes. The opposite of yes. She said no. She said no to the 50 grand. She didn't take the deal. And the dude, he upped and ran away. Ran away. The local cops said they have identified a suspect but have not yet made an arrest. Maybe they're waiting for their offer. But the lady said no to the 50 grand, and he ran away.
There's so many scams out there. I just add that to the list, I would assume. You can't really trust anybody with that kind of thing.
Nope.
And it's not like the dude that just crashed his Charger and wants to get away with it is going to be the most trustworthy individual you'll meet that day.
There's a lot of scam artists out there. You're right, Josh. By damn, you are. 9 times out of 10, you are. I've never been offered 50 grand for dick.
Boy, me neither.
I want to be offered 50 grand
Me
for
too,
something.
and I want to take it.
Yeah, I want to
Depending
take
on
it
the
too.
circumstances, of course.
This is how Josh would come off. A stranger would say, tell you what, I'll give you 50 grand if you, and Josh says, I'll take it.
Yeah, not much I wouldn't do for 50 grand.
God, someday I hope we can prove that. I bet we can come up with some pretty demeaning things for you.
Someone in our listening audience, offer me 50 grand for something. Let's see if we can reach a deal this morning. We're at 651-989-9393. Offer me 50 grand for something that you want in return, and we'll see if we can come to an agreement.
I'm going to write you a check for, let's just say, $50,000. Here you go. I'm going to write you an IOU, which is just as good as cash.
We'll see what kind of offers I get here. All right. Here we go. Ashley and Dana.
Yes.
Are you available to play a guessing game?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm free.
Do you know the taco story?
No.
No.
Well, then this is maybe going to work. Little guessing game here. I like to play guessing games on the show. I do. Here's the deal. A dude went ahead and did the right thing. He went and bought a pile of tacos from Taco Bell. Tacos. He was ass deep in tacos from Taco Bell. When he got home to stuff his face, he bit into a taco, and there was something or another in there that really shouldn't have been. So what's your guess? What was allegedly in this effing guy's taco?
First thing that came to mind was condom.
He bit right into it. He bit right on into it. You're going to say condom?
Yes.
All right, Ashley, take your time if you like. You hear the clock is... You got plenty of time.
A Band-Aid. Classic.
Sure, Band-Aid. Yeah, you hear that.
I have heard that story afore. Okay, you're out of time. Dana went with condom. Ashley went with Band-Aid. The answer is a nose ring.
Ooh. Oh, that, ew. Ew, ew, ew.
Dude claims he found a nose ring in his Taco Bell order. And of course, he had to go ahead and tell everybody about it on social media.
It's the first place people run to when something like that happens.
Social media? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He put a picture up there. I didn't see the ringy dingy in the picture that I looked at, but apparently there's a nose ring in the mix in one of his tacos. I didn't see it. People had cute comments. Nobody knows where it came from, said one person. Another one said, that's not funny.
I don't know that I would have recognized that as a nose ring. I would have been kind of confused.
Oh, what you mean? You located it? You saw it in the picture and you...
Yeah. It's pretty tiny, first and foremost. But
yeah. The dude who bit into the nose ring, here's what he said. He said, I called and Taco Bell told me, they said nobody here has a nose ring. And I told them, well, not anymore, they don't. It fell into my... others online had ideas like maybe Taco Bell gets some of their ingredients already prepped, from a different joint, like some onion chopper at a different location lost their nose ring, and all of that is possible. A dude said one of his fillings came loose on him when he bit into the nose ring.
Ouch.
That's a hell of a deal.
It's pretty gross. The grossest thing I've ever... And I could eat right around it, but I found the world's longest hair.
Oh, did you?
Some food once.
The world's longest hairs?
I don't know that there's ever been someone who had longer hair.
It just kept going like a clown pulling scarves out.
It was outrageous.
A listener offered me $50,000 if I give up frozen pizza and beer for life. It's going to have to be way more than that. I appreciate it. I'm looking for offers for something I can do for $50,000. I appreciate that, but it's going to have to be a lot more than $50,000 to give up frozen pizza and Steve Weisers.
You know, the number one answer via text so far, or I should say offer, has been bringing Ross back. For $50,000 if Ross came back to work with us.
Well, first off, the guy has passed away, and I used to be called insensitive for continuing to bring the guy up, even though he passed away so young, and now you guys bring him up all the friggin' time. Are you effing out of your mind? It would have to be in the millions for that guy to end up working side by side with me again. It would have to be in the millions. I hated that guy. Hated him. Still hate him, even though he's dead. Some people say when someone dies, they try to find something good to say about the guy. Not me.
You know he's not dead, right? He is still alive. Maybe he's dead to you, but he's a living, breathing person. He comes to Toys for Tatas every year. Are you aware of that? Every year.
I hugged him last year.
I ran into the Mall of America not too long ago.
The guy's dead.
We're seeing things.
Is this maybe like a landfill situation in Beer Fest? When landfill died and then his twin brother just happened to show up?
His twin brother's name was New Landfill, I believe. Yeah, right. There was Old Landfill and New Landfill. $50,000, I have to join social media and participate for 3 months consistently as much as Danel does. I have to be constantly throwing my opinion out on social media. I'll do that for $50,000.
Are you still super active, Danel? I haven't been on social media in a long time.
Not as active as I used to be, no.
Who's that talking right now, Josh?
That's Danel.
Danel.
Yeah. It's not Ross. You mentioned Ross is dead.
The man is dead. All right, I'll keep looking at these offers. I'll try not to lose you here with this next stupid news story in a place called Australia. Members of the public have mistakenly been given ultrasound probe covers instead of condoms by a sexual health, how do you say it, organization. Ultrasound probe covers, and I can picture that because I've had one of those units run up and down my ball bag before.
They're bigger than condoms by quite a bit.
Well, not the ones I use.
Yeah.
All right, dumb.
Well, wait a minute, what's bigger than a condom?
Like the sleeves they put over the probe.
Oh, well, the probe that they rolled around on my scrotum wasn't extraordinarily large, but maybe it just looked smaller by comparison to my genitalia. I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
They didn't put one on. When I had my ultrasound, they didn't put one of those things on.
They didn't roll that little wand
No,
on
but
your...
they didn't put a condom on.
Oh, no, they didn't put a condom on mine either. On that thing. You know what I mean? They barebacked me with that ultrasound wand.
Yeah, it's the way they did it for me, too.
Right. So I suppose when they're ultrasounding certain parts of your body, they put some kind of a sleeve on top of it.
Yeah.
They, like Josh said, they didn't use one on me. They went bareback. They went prom night. So this sexual health and family planning joint in Australia, they've apologized for this screw up. They say anyone who has received an ultrasound probe cover instead of a condom at one of their events, like they go to colleges and whatnot, they've been told, don't pull this over anybody's pecker. And if you have used one on your Johnson, call your doctor. So some unlucky dudes out there pulled an ultrasound probe cover over their damn Johnson instead of a good old-fashioned rubber.
Bummer.
They handed out rubbers, which weren't actually rubbers, at some kind of an event.
The packaging looked the same. I mean, it clearly says what it is on it, but it does look like it. I can see if you're not paying attention.
They are similar. They put out a statement, this family planning sexual health joint, telling people they look like rubbers, but they don't provide the same level of protection against pregnancy or sexually transmitted infections. No, I bet they don't. Sounds like some college kids in the area might have grabbed a fistful of these damn things.
Uh-oh. Gonna be some pregnant women out there.
Well, yeah, there was the news talked to one guy in particular, and he had a look on his face like, oh no, this could be bad.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Some of the rookies who have never wrapped up their dong before likely had no idea that what they were wearing wasn't going to help them at all.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he looked very, very frightened when they explained what was going on.
You know, the first thought I had was, well, what college kid in his or her right mind bothers with a damn condom? But I hear the young people these days use birth control all the time.
I did early on in my intercourse explorations. I was terrified of, like getting, at the time, AIDS, right? That was the big fear. Certainly pregnancy, but I didn't want to get AIDS.
God knows I never did. And most of my buddies, guy and girlfriends from when I was young, no one ever used a friggin' condom, but young people these days, they do. So good for you.
Would you use a condom for 50 grand? Jiu-Jitsu Jesus wants to know.
Ew.
I'd use a condom for 50 grand, absolutely.
Well, the technology's come a long way.
It has?
Yeah, as far as how thin they are and things like that.
They can make ones that vibrate now, too.
Are you
What?
serious?
That's crazy.
People are offering me 50 grand to eat a hot dog with ketchup. They're poking at all my weak spots here to try to get me pissed off. Here's a guy offering me 50 grand for my friggin' wife. It's a deal. It's a deal.
Do you think she'd agree with that? Like if somebody offered her 50 grand, would she also say it's a deal?
Nah, she digs me. She friggin' digs me. All right, I feel awful, and I hate myself for just now becoming familiar with this young lady. Do you folks know Library Girl?
Oh,
Now I do.
Absolutely.
So you didn't up until yesterday.
Yep.
Josh, you didn't up until yesterday.
Oh, no, I was familiar with Library Girl.
Oh, you were?
I remember when she was kind of blew up.
She also goes by the name of Kendra Sunderland. And there was a process of realization for me yesterday, and I'll explain that in a minute. Library girl, also known as Kendra Sunderland, says here she got famous back in 2015 for something really fun. So this is back nearly 10 years ago. She filmed a 31-minute webcam video inside a library at Oregon State University, home of the Beavers. The video ended up on the godless internet. In the video, she goes ahead and hauls out her cans. She also showed us her vaginas. She masturbated. And then it says she even managed to lick herself in the video.
I have a friend who was obsessed with her for a while. To the point where he almost got a library card just because he was so obsessed with her.
Just because there's a chance he could run into library girl. So next thing you know, she's a library girl on the internet, and she's got herself a porn career. She did, if you don't know the story, like Josh knew it, the rest of us didn't. That incident in 20+15 at the library, she did get in a little bit of trouble for jilling off at the library. She was charged with public indecency. She was fined $1,000. But over the following years, her porno career took off. You know the gimmick, Instagram and all that. She even had porno movies on Pornhub and this and that. She even ended up with her own signature fleshlight.
Good for her.
Now, here was where I had a realization. When I'm reading this story yesterday, prepping it for today, I didn't remember anything about Library Girl, but then I looked up. When I saw the name Kendra Sunderland, I said, that sounds familiar to... And then I looked her up on Pornhub, and I said, well, yeah, I've seen her before. So this all turned into a massive porn career. She's got her own fleshlight. The latest news on Library Girl is she got busted for weed.
Weed?
That's right. Last week, she got pinched on a felony drug charge in Texas. She's driving around town with a pile of grass in her car.
Oof,
That's
must
stupid.
have had a lot.
She had a lot of grass.
Wouldn't that be the ultimate honor to have a fleshlight modeled after your privates?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'd love that.
I would say yes.
I mean, I don't want to go through the process of, what they'd have to do to make that accurate.
To mold it and everything like that?
But that would be something if I ever, I want that on my what do they call that? A headstone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With a QR code to buy that particular.
Yeah.
I just picture one of your big fans coming and just tear running down their eye, and they just put the fleshlight on your tombstone as like a tribute and memorial to you.
I backdoored you for a long time, buddy.
Citing Jesus is offering me $50,000 to do all of what Library Girl did at the library. Do you understand the words that just came out of my mouth?
You'd go to jail.
They're offering me $50,000 to do everything that Library Girl did at the library at a library here in town. So I'd have to, I have to get my breasts out. I have to show my vagina to the camera. I have to masturbate and then lick myself. I'll get back to you. In a recent Instagram post, Library Girl Kendra Sunderland celebrated the 9th anniversary of the Library Girl video. She said, "The day my life changed forever. Thank you to everyone who participated in getting me this far. I love you all." Well, I'll tell you right now, I love you too, Library Girl. I love you too.
There's a big difference between a middle-aged gentleman making a Library Girl video and a top-heavy, cute blonde making a Library Girl
Who at
video.
the time was 19 years old,
Right.
I think. Yeah, there's a big difference.
You're looked at differently in the community.
You're damn right.
Your careers would go in opposite directions.
You'd be on some type of registry.
I've been waiting on this one. I love this next story. I really do, although it gets me a little bit angry.
Oh, it should.
Let me see if I can keep this one straight, and let's see if I can keep the gas down. Oh, my God. I drink that Gatorade so fast, Josh, and then we go live, and I have these ogre from Revenge of the Nerds size burps on deck the entire stupid. I try my best. I don't try to do it that way.
Yeah, you must just take in a lot of air. Gatorade's never done that to me.
God, help us.
Oh, but Mountain Dew, that is a siren for belching, for sure.
If I can keep down the gas, I'll try to give this one to you straight. A man in Taiwan filed for divorce from his friggin' wife. Good move. Always a smart move in my book. He filed for divorce from his friggin' wife. Sounds like he had good reason. His wife was demanding that he pay her for sex. Because according to her, he was too fat for sex, and he sucked at it.
Oh, poor guy.
That'll hurt a guy's self-esteem.
This poor bastard's name is How. And I don't feel bad for him for losing the wife, but I feel bad that she said those things about him. That had to hurt a player. Like Dana said, that had to hurt. He married his wife, Zon, back in 2014. Oh, it says here they pumped out a kid or two. Problems started 3 years into the marriage. In 2017, the wife would only let him have a piece of that ass once a month. Okay?
That's crazy.
He's down to once a month. Then by 2019, she shut it down for good. The wife did. The sex. She closed shop on How. Closed it down for good. She told his relatives, I guess she assumed that they cared how often the two of them bumped uglies. I don't know why she shared this with his relatives. She told his relatives that he was too fat and incompetent in the sack. Too plump to pump. He filed for divorce in 20+21, but then walked it back after she promised to work on their relationship.
No.
He did. No, I take it back. Oh, you want to work it out? We'll work it out, he said. But that never works, as you know. The friggin' wife, Zon again is her name, she started to stiff-arm Daddy whenever he wanted to fold her in half. Or she would charge him $15 for action.
15?
Sometimes,
pretty arrogant, don't you think?
Yeah. Sometimes she'd even charge How $15 if he just wanted to talk to her.
Oh, no.
She hates him. Oh, my gosh.
Must not have tried out the merchandise before they got married. Huh?
Maybe that's it. So How, my new homeboy, he wound up filing for divorce for a second time this year. The judge granted it. It was probably the most obvious and easiest divorce the judge ever signed off on. The wife, now she doesn't want a divorce. Probably because she enjoys having a spineless little character around the house that she can pick on and make miserable. She probably gets off on that. She doesn't want to get a divorce. Can you even picture her? Honey, I want a divorce. Why?
I thought things were going well.
Why? I handed you $15 the other day to have a conversation with you. This kind of wacky setup, I guess, has happened afore. In 20+14, somehow a story popped up about a wife. Also in Taiwan. Yeah, both of these stories are from Taiwan. There was another wife, also in Taiwan, who charged her husband $60 for squish. By the end of the marriage, he was out $120. I'm kidding about that. She charged him $60 just to... That's one way to do it, I guess, right, Cubby?
Yeah, I'm trying to think the horniest I've ever been. Probably in studio, probably earlier this morning. But the horniest I've ever been, how much I'd pay my wife for intercourse.
Well, I bet the horniest you've ever been was before the wife.
Younger man?
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
The horniest you've ever... Let's admit.
Nothing to do with her. Just when you're a younger man, it's sometimes uncontrollable.
Or it might have something to do with her.
No, it has nothing to do with her.
Let's all be honest. The horniest we've all ever been for our significant others was probably how should I say it? The horniest we've all ever been for our significant others probably only qualifies as sort of horny. You know what I mean?
Compared back in the day?
Yeah,
sure.
come on. Compared to back in the day when you were rubbing up on a tree when nobody was looking. I mean, let's be totally...
I mean, Ashley had sex on the floor of a state fair bathroom.
Right. And our significant others would likely say the same thing. Yeah, I've been horny for him or her, but I mean, not like when I was a senior in high school. Horny.
Not humping the couch cushions horny.
No.
Asian Cop Jesus said he got horny enough to buy a house, 2 cars, and a $30,000 wedding he paid for.
That's pretty horny, man.
Well, maybe we should go this way now. Dude was paying his wife $15 for sex. Another dude was paying his wife $60. What's sex with your significant other worth? What number? What number would you put on it? $15, 20.
Oh, I'd be in the. I mean, if that's the range, I'd say 60 for sure. Oh gosh, sorry, Dana, 69.
Nice.
$69.
$69 easily, if that's the range.
Ah, that's good. All right, this poor bastard. How? I hope he. You know what? I hope happens to How. I hope he hooks up with the library girl.
That would be nice.
Yeah, me too.
And she just tears it right off of its moorings, you know what I mean? And gives him the thrill of a lifetime. None of our significant others. Sex with any of them. No way it's worth over $100. Right, everybody?
I'm not paying that.
No. I'm not paying over $100.
Well, on the flip side, Ashley, what do you think you're worth?
I guess I don't know. I imagine for him it would be quite a bit.
It seems like for him, he's not much of a deal closer, so yeah, he might be in a situation where he'd have to pay for it. I looked up the Kendra Sunderland library girl fleshlight.
Yeah.
$80. That's how much it is to have sex with her.
Oh,
Not bad at all.
That's more than we would pay our significant others. I don't know what else is going on around here, but I think we've had a decent time so far.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
The Yankees have Aaron Judge and Juan Soto breaking records. Ruth, Mantle, Gehrig, and the Mets have Grimace, and now Hatua. Come on, bro, I can't take it. I cannot take it anymore. It's ridiculous. And then you wonder why fans get so ticked off and upset. It's embarrassing. Is it the biggest deal in the world? No, absolutely. Does it mean anything on the field? No. But that's the problem. The product on the field isn't good enough, and you're coming up with these silly gimmicks that are laughing stock. It's a joke. Hawk Tua.
Hawk Tua and spit on that thing.
Yeah, it's still happening.
That guy is pissed off.
If you want to know why this guy busted a spring, a few of the dorks who cover New York Mets baseball on radio and television were not amused by the silly Hawk Tua girl tossing out a first pitch at a Mets game yesterday, day before.
I was kind of surprised baseball would allow such a thing. Or I wonder how far up it got for permission.
Oh, God, who knows?
She's famous for making a blowjob joke.
Right. Yeah, from what I understand, they didn't refer to her as the Hawk Tua girl over the PA. They called her by her real name, which is Jenny from
the block.
I don't know.
Where did she would have hawked to it on the ball before she threw it?
Did she throw a spitball?
No, I didn't see. I saw the pitch.
That'd be disappointing.
It looked, oh man, where were all the spitball jokes on social media? That's a good, it's a good one, Cubby. I didn't see any spitball jokes at all. So that guy was comparing the Mets to the Yankees. You know, the Yankees have this great history, and the Mets have Grimace and the Hawk to it. Earlier we were talking in the stupid news about a rich guy, I guess, crashes his car onto a lady's property. And the lady runs out. Surprisingly, the guy's alive. He gets out the car and says, I'll give you $50,000 if you don't call the cops and just act like this never happened. So we brought up the scenario. I brought up the scenario. I want to be offered $50,000 for something. Text in and let me know what you would give me $50,000 for. A lot of jokes about, hot dogs and ketchup and this and that, trying to aggravate me. I got a couple of real keepers here. I have to wear socks and tennis shoes at a 24-hour straight live Motley Crue show.
Oh, man.
For $50,000. $50,000, a listener says, they'll give it to me if I interview Karen Rodgers for an entire 3-hour podcast, and the first question to ask him has to be, so, what's on your mind?
That sounds awful.
Well, that would take care of the whole 3 hours. That guy would probably just talk about himself. You wouldn't have to interject much.
What a great opening line.
All right, real quick, I wanted to say hello and good luck and have fun to all the derelicts heading up to Brainerd International Raceway for the Nationals this weekend. I'm too
It appears
old.
there's quite a few people that have been texted in saying they're on their way up there.
Yep, a lot. Plenty of them go yesterday, day before. Hell, they start letting in on Monday, I believe. So some of you are already up there, but not going to make it this summer. I'm too old, and I got other things going on that I have to attend. 25 straight years I hit BIR for the NHRA Nationals, and I get a funny feeling. The last couple of years I've missed it. I get a funny feeling because, man, I mean, we just had the time of our lives up there year after year after year. I wish I was going, but I think maybe those days have come and gone for me. So hello and have fun. A few people texted in and said, what's the deal? Ron Capps isn't calling in? We don't know. We never heard from Ron.
It must not have been available.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
He loves coming on.
Love Ron. Good luck to Ron Capps. We don't know what happened. We don't know why Ron doesn't want to talk to us. We thought we were friends with Ron.
We are friends with Ron.
Twins won last night, first of their 4-game series down there in Texas. We'll get into that in about a half hour. For now, stick around. Josh's news is coming up.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Former Navy SEAL Sean Ryan shares real stories from real people from all walks of life on The Sean Ryan Show.
Tucker Carlson, what is it that you think that people gravitate
I'm not
towards?
self-aware. I refuse to be self-aware. I don't even look in mirrors at all, which you can probably tell from my appearance. I don't have a crazy high IQ, or I really don't have that many skills. I would say my main skill is I believe my instincts. I don't hesitate to follow my instincts, ever. To the extent that I have, I've gotten in trouble.
The Sean Ryan Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
Saw them kind of getting up and moving and trying to get up. I felt a little bit better as far as that, but I knew there were still some injuries.
2 toddlers in diapers were thrown onto a busy Texas highway after being ejected from their father's Jeep during a horrific crash.
Good God.
And they're going to be fine, luckily. The video's on 93x.com. In the heart-stopping video, the 1- and 4-year-olds are seen stranded and dazed on the I-10 East Freeway in Houston as stunned drivers and eyewitnesses rush to help. Their father's overturned vehicle lies nearby, and the wreckage paints a terrifying picture of the crash's aftermath. It's unclear if the children had been restrained inside the vehicle at the time of the collision.
For parents and for everybody, even if it's a short distance, to awareness of make sure you secure your kids properly.
The Harris County Sheriff's Office reports those in the second vehicle didn't report any injuries, and an investigation into that incident is ongoing. Amazing they survived. Amazing they're going to be okay.
These kids are invincible.
The Jeep went a-rolling and flipping and such, and these little kids were just shooting out of the damn thing like you're flicking a bug off a table.
They shot right out. Yeah, just launched them.
Son of a bear.
They got, at least on video, they got a cool memory. They can show that to people someday.
That's true. Yeah, that'll get you some chicks someday, I'd imagine. Some sad news, and we talked about this a little earlier. Singer Jack Russell, former frontman for the rock band Great White, has passed away. Jack died yesterday, surrounded by family. A Russell family spokesperson said Jack died as a result of Lewy body dementia and multiple system atrophy. He announced his diagnosis last month when he retired from touring, as both conditions affected his motor skills. Jack sang for Great White from 1981 to 1996 when he tried his hand at a solo career. After his first solo album came out, he went back to Great White until 2001. From there, Jack changed the band's name to Jack Russell's Great White. He passed away yesterday at the age of 63.
Yeah, that is a damn shame. And I am still, we talked about him earlier, like you said, absolutely shocked that the man was only 63 years old.
Yeah, that was it. It's, like you had mentioned, he hadn't been looking in the greatest of health. A few people said, there's one guy that said he worked on his crew a little bit, and he had to walk with a cane at times.
Yeah, the last couple times I saw him in concert, he used a cane, had to steady himself on a chair, had to sing most of the set from a seated position. Yeah, his health has been rough. Hey, they had their moment. Great White certainly had their moment in the late 80s.
They did.
Good
cool,
for them.
Cool vibe, everything. A 30-year-old Minnesota man's ride to couples therapy took a dramatic detour right over the hood of his girlfriend's car. After a heated morning of arguing, he decided to break up with her mid-commute. Bad idea. Because her response wasn't tears, wasn't pleading, but hitting the gas and sending him flying. The 30-year-old woman and her boyfriend were driving to the therapy session in Fergus Falls Saturday when an argument erupted. They'd already been fighting all day when the boyfriend dropped the news he didn't think their relationship was going to work.
I don't think so, yeah.
The furious girlfriend stopped the car in the middle of traffic and said, all right, why don't you just get out of the vehicle?
Oh.
And as he walked in front of the vehicle to reach the sidewalk, she stared him down and floored it, attempting to hit him. For her part, the girlfriend later admitted to hitting the man with her car, but claimed it was an accident. She was just upset and not paying any attention. The couple had been dating for about a year and were living together.
A year and already in couples therapy? Just call it quits,
well,
dude.
I tell you what, that therapist dodged a bullet because this chick was coming in hot that day for that session. That could have gotten ugly.
Yeah, well, it ended bad for that guy. Luckily, he's going to be okay. Well, here's a lesson you won't find in the curriculum. A 44-year-old Long Island principal learned the hard way harassing your ex will get you expelled from your place of employment, especially when you threaten to, quote, F up her new man in the middle of Manhattan. Shannon Burton, principal at Milton L. Olive Middle School, swapped grading papers for making creepy calls, allegedly seething, I'll F up your boyfriend. Wait till I catch him. How can you do this to me? You're effing this guy? After 15 calls, showing up uninvited and ringing the doorbell like he was auditioning for a role in a horror movie, Burton took his frustrations to new heights by keying her car and banging on her Upper East Side apartment door all night long.
He's one of those guys, huh?
Yeah, and they'd been broke up for a while.
Oh, scary.
When the new boyfriend stepped out, Principal Burton went straight for detention duty on the streets, cornering him with some very inappropriate questions about his relationship with the man's ex. When the cops finally showed, he wanted sexual details.
I'd like to, I want to hear those inappropriate questions.
Hey, she never did this with me, but did she let you do this?
Yeah.
When the cops finally showed up, the enraged educator decided to take recess under some parked cars before getting hauled off in cuffs.
He was hiding
like a
under
man.
Oh, that's great.
Since his arrest, he's been reassigned to work from home while the school district conducts their own investigation. In a grotesque act of betrayal, a 37-year-old Florida man broke into his own mother's home and stabbed her because he was upset there was nothing to steal. With his 10-year-old daughter and 16-year-old niece in the house, John Ayler stabbed his 64-year-old mom after crawling through her dog door in the dead of night. Just the latest act of violence from a man with a staggering history of criminal behavior.
Jesus, you think you could physically make it through a dog door?
No. Tore a rotator cuff before.
I can't even do that.
Ayler, who had a history of breaking into his mother's home, entered again early Monday and after finding nothing to steal, armed himself with a knife and stabbed his own mom.
I would bet if you're in that family, you're not surprised to hear this.
No, he had quite a lengthy record.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's been a drug addict who'd been arrested over 20 times since 2003. And it wasn't the first time he stole from his mom in order to buy drugs. For a Kentucky couple, breakfast wasn't the most important meal of the day. It was the most dangerous. 39-year-old Jeremiah Brown had been indicted after a heated argument with his girlfriend over a Pop-Tart. Brown apparently took his snack time a bit too seriously when a disagreement with his girlfriend over the pastry spiraled into a full-blown fight, complete with a knife, choking, and some less than romantic declarations. When the victim arrived at the hospital, she reportedly told troopers she'd been in a fight with her boyfriend over a Pop-Tart. The woman told authorities Brown took a knife and held it to her throat before throwing it down, and he began choking her. Brown told the woman, "I'm going to kill you."
What the?
before he choked her until she blacked out.
A neighbor who did not want to go on camera says the day this happened, they saw the victim walking along the road. The neighbor says she stopped and asked her if she needed help, but she said no. It wasn't until later that the neighbor learned about the accusations. She says she just hopes the victim is okay and never has to go through anything like this again.
After the dust and crumbs settled, Brown was left facing a grand jury indictment.
Must have been a brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tart. Those ones are the best.
So you're that passionate about it?
Yeah, those are the only ones worth getting that passionate about.
I'd like to know what it was. Somebody ate one, somebody overcooked one. What was the problem? Prosecutor said a 25-year-old threatened to stab a CVS employee with a syringe filled with his own blood as he tried to flee the pharmacy with arms full of paper towels and cashews.
Cashews aren't cheap, man.
Nope.
The incident in Boston led to a charge of armed robbery and shoplifting against a 25-year-old Massachusetts man who had a 32-page criminal record. My lord. During the most recent incident, Boston police went to a CVS about 8:16 a.m., where an employee told officers he saw the man grab paper towels and cashew nuts, then walk out without paying. The employee confronted the man, who responded, "Not today, man. You stop me and I'll pull out a needle full of my blood and I'll stick you with it." Hours later, 4:30 p.m., they saw someone matching the surveillance images from CVS who at first denied being at the store, then said, "But I gave the stuff back, so why am I in trouble?" At that point, the man was taken into custody and police found 5 empty syringes in a fanny pack.
It's an original weapon.
Yeah, here's another unusual weapon.
I have a syringe filled with my own. Okay.
This time in Arizona, police detained a man accused of stabbing someone with a pitchfork.
Whoa.
56-year-old Oscar Garnett is facing an aggravated assault charge for a fight reported Wednesday morning. He got into an altercation with another landscaper, stabbing him with a pitchfork, police said. The injured person was taken to the hospital, thankfully with non-life-threatening injuries.
Pitchfork?
I've heard of those.
Oh, I bet that would hurt.
It's like the movies.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Friday the 13th type stuff.
Whether it's trying to cancel a gym membership or jumping through hoops to get a refund for a canceled flight, corporate customer service can add a lot of unnecessary headaches and hassles. But now lawmakers want to take the practice on and ask them to stop wasting people's time and money. A new set of rules called Time is Money can crack down on the ways companies give consumers the runaround. Among the initiatives are requiring companies to make it as easy to cancel a subscription or a membership as it was to sign up.
They make it a lot more difficult to leave than to start. Someone doesn't want the service anymore, but because of all the hoops that they have to go through to cancel, the company ends up getting an extra subscription payment or 2 or 6.
Another new rule would require airlines to give automatic cash refunds when your flight's canceled or significantly changed for any reason. The idea is to cut through the clutter of so-called doom loops, those endless mazes of menu options and automated responses, by requiring companies to let customers talk to a human being by pressing a single button.
Inability to be able to talk to people on the phone.
Wasting my time.
I think really a lot of the companies they try and wear you down. Who's stronger, are robos or you?
Other proposed rules would prevent marketers from using fake reviews to boost their businesses.
While it's just a proposal at this point, the FTC's proposed rule would make it crystal clear that it's illegal to do things like write or sell fake reviews from people who don't exist or who never use the product, or to buy positive reviews, or even to buy negative reviews about your competitors.
The Federal Trade Commission announced a final rule earlier this week to combat fake reviews and testimonials by prohibiting their sale or purchase and allowing the agency to seek civil penalties against knowing violators.
Well, this makes me happy. I had to cancel something the other day, had to go through all the things on the website, finally find the place to cancel it. It says, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yes." And then it says, "Okay, please call this number to talk to somebody to officially cancel." So then I had to get on the phone, and they're giving me the runaround. "Well, hey, we'll offer you this deal if you want to stay." And I was, just let me cancel.
Yeah, they don't make it very easy.
No.
It's super easy to sign up for.
Yes, very easy. They make it way too easy.
A piece of horror movie history could be yours, as the famed haunted house from Poltergeist has officially hit the market.
Oh, cool.
The home, which served as the central location in the Steven Spielberg scripted supernatural flick, hasn't been listed for sale in more than 45 years, but is now looking for new owners. Located outside of Los Angeles, the abode boasts a 16,000 square foot lot with 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, a large swimming pool, and a jacuzzi. Despite its connection to the popular film, the sellers promise there's no ghostly antics to worry about. All you have to do is scare up about $1.174 million.
Yeesh.
There's a lot of spooky lore tied to the Poltergeist franchise, mainly because 12-year-old Heather O'Rourke, the star of the movie, died from a sudden illness while making the 3rd film in the series. I've actually never seen the full movie.
Yeah, me neither.
I put it on my watch list after reading this story.
You know what, Cubby? I watched it in the theater when it came out. What was that, 1982, something like that? And never really felt drawn to it again.
Is it scary? I remember everyone saying, "Oh, it's
it was so
scary.
long ago. I don't remember really. And
Not compared to the movies they have now. I wouldn't say no.
See, the horror movies today, I think, are awful, stupid, and not scary at all. The ones from the 70s and 80s, maybe it depends on what generation you get. Anyway, there was something about Poltergeist never really grabbed me. I know it's still very popular, and every Halloween it shows up on someone's television, but I never really cared.
Yeah, I got to watch it. I got that on my list. Alien Romulus invades theaters this week. While scavenging the deep ends of the derelict space station, a group of young colonizers come face to face with the most terrifying life form in the universe. Also in theaters, Elizabeth Banks in skincare. Famed skincare specialist Hope Goldman is about to launch her own skincare line. However, she suspects someone's trying to sabotage her and embarks on a quest to unravel the mystery of who's trying to destroy her life. Today on Netflix, The Union, a spy thriller starring Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry. Mark's just a normal guy from Jersey who's recruited by his old high school sweetheart for a high-stakes mission. Now on Max, the streaming premiere of the Mad Max prequel Furiosa, and making its streaming premiere on Hulu, The Immaculate, a horror movie starring the very busty Sydney Sweeney.
Oh, yes.
New music this week includes Popular Monster in the highly anticipated 5th album from the band and their first new studio album in 7 years. All 7 singles, which includes the top 5 hit title track and their reimagining of Papa Roach's Last Resort, have gone top 20 in the U.S. And Creed's chart-topping sophomore album, which went on to sell over 20 million copies worldwide, turns 25. Today's release of a 2-disc 25th anniversary edition of Human Clay includes several bonus tracks as well as previously unreleased concerts from 1999.
There was a Creed record that sold 20 million copies?
Yeah. Their second one went crazy.
Lick me down.
The rest of the week's most notable new releases can be found on 93x.com and our Spotify playlist.
Did you buy that record, Josh?
I did. Yeah, I liked Creed. I had a couple buddies that were absolutely obsessed.
Really?
Yeah, Mark Tremonti.
20 million, so that's more than effing, Hysteria.
Aren't they more than that at this point?
Oh, I thought Hysteria was like $11 or $12 million. 11 or 12 million copies.
Let's see.
What did Thriller do?
That was up there, too.
Like 50, 60. That just throws me. A Creed record, and I'm not a Creed hater. I liked a couple of their songs. I had no idea that at one point or another they had one record that sold 20 million copies.
Andy Samberg turns 46 Sunday. Edward Norton and Christian Slater both will be 55.
I gotta look this up.
Dennis Leary, 67. Robert Redford, 88. Tomorrow, Sean Penn will be 64. And Dirty Grandpa star Robert De Niro turns 81.
That movie's so bad.
Oh, it's terrible. I had to turn it off. I couldn't do it. Birthdays today, The Office star Steve Carell, 62. And while Madonna is officially 66 today, her new face is only 3. Happy 22nd anniversary to But You Didn't Mean Not To Jesus and his amazing wife, Hannah. Happy birthday to hardwood working Jesus tomorrow from Lucky Duck and Little Peep. Also tomorrow, happy 51st to my cousin Ian. And happy birthday to Big Dano from Mountain Mayhem Jesus. That's 93X News.
93X's Brad Ryder.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Gap in left center. Jankowski will turn, and that is in played off the base of the wall to the big odd bounce back into center. Farmer's going to round, mishandled in center. Farmer's got the green light. He's going to try and score. The throw to the plate will not be in time. time. Kyle Farmer inside the park home run. And the Twins go back-to-back, and it's 2-2.
I knew I hit it well. I knew it was a sure double. Then I hit that kind of corner of the wall, and I knew it was going to be a triple. And then I see Tommy waving, everybody in the dugout yelling. So I was like, well, why not? And pretty tired after that.
Kyle Farmer of the Minnesota Twins hit a Little League home run last night in that game against the Texas Rangers. We'll get to that in just a minute. First, welcome to the show, Brad Ryder.
Good morning.
Morning.
We're down 2 players today, Brad Ryder. What's the first kid's name? Wapple. We believe he's undergoing some kind of psychological evaluation. Randy Shaver texted in last night and said he's very sick.
Yeah, that came in very late last night.
And unavailable this morning.
It's too bad.
It's kind of funny, actually.
I don't find that very funny.
So, I mean, the pressure is on the lonely boy like maybe it's never been before.
No, not really.
You don't care?
No. I've been in this position before. It's fine.
You don't friggin' care. And you have been in this position before, and you have thrived. I got to ask you a question. It's not sports related. It's Friday. You know, who cares? It's an F-off day for the most part. So I'm going to go this way first with you, Brad Ryder. You know what Josh just told us a few minutes ago, and it really grabbed me. I hope a few of the rest of you has taken interest in it as well. Josh was talking about what? Okay, it was 25 years ago today that Creed, a band that a lot of people enjoy kicking the hell out of as often as they can, kind of like Nickelback, Creed, people love to make fun of Creed. 25 years ago, they put out a record called I'll Bury You in Clay. What was it called?
Clay.
Human Clay. And that record sold 22 million copies?
20 million worldwide.
20 million worldwide. Did you buy that record, Brad Ryder? Josh did.
No.
You never got into Creed?
No, I really didn't. I never got into Creed, really. No.
Was I the only one who was totally taken by surprise that band sold 20 million copies of one of their records?
It shocked me. I knew people were like in love with them. But
well, yeah, everybody knew that.
To that degree.
They're very much a band that has that cult following, and people will buy their stuff no matter what.
Is that right?
I think so. I mean,
that's what I always thought.
Their guitar player, especially Mark Tremonti, he's incredible. He is such a good guitar player.
So I had to look this stuff up. I just had to look up, you
get obsessed.
what kind of company does that put them in? 20 million records sold. Not career. One record selling 20 million. So, there's varying reports on this. Tell me if any of you have these records.
Now, do you have the worldwide? Because that's the number we're talking about here, worldwide.
I think so. I think so, yeah. Back in Black by AC/DC has sold 49 million copies.
Ooh, wow.
Of course, the untouchable of all time is friggin' what's his name again? He died.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Thriller. What did he reach there? I don't know.
70 million worldwide.
Yeah, that's what I have here. 70 million.
It's amazing.
And then, according to a lot of the lists I saw, next up is Back in Black from AC/DC. 50 million, 49 million. There's, like I said, there's conflicting reports. And then you go, Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd, 45 million copies. Anybody who's not looking at it, you want to take any? Brad Ryder, guess some other records you think might be in that kind of company.
Oh, let's see. A group. Well, I like this group, so I'm just going to throw it out there. And they're kind of an all-timer group that has sold a lot of records. The Eagles. Are they on there?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yes, their greatest hits compilation, which was released in 1976, has sold over 40 million copies. Yes, good guess, the Eagles. Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell, 1977, with 2 out of 3 Ain't Bad and Paradise by the Dashboard Lights, 43, I think, million copies.
Is there a Linkin Park album on there?
Oh, I don't see a Linkin Park record anywhere near this kind of company.
Yeah, Linkin Park is too close to the digital age
I'm sensing a lot of late 70s, early 80-ish type things. on this list, and I think it's because obviously you had to buy the record.
That'll never happen again.
No, that's what I'm saying. That'll
Exactly.
never happen now.
Exactly.
It'll be streams, right? They'll just say you had a billion streams or whatever.
Late 70s into the 80s, I mean, that was the number one pastime in America, was buying records, buying cassette tapes, whatever was available. I mean, I'm sorry I blew up, but I do take interest in this stuff. Every once in a while, you forget. I mean, just how massive some records were. I'm seeing some texts come in. Slippery When Wet from Bon Jovi. Yes, 28 million copies of that friggin' album. Appetite for Destruction. If we're just talking about rock records, Appetite sold 28 million, just like Slippery When Wet. Nevermind by Nirvana, 30 million. Alanis Morissette and that Jagged Little Pill. Boy, I got sick of that.
Oh, I love that.
33 million copies. Led Zeppelin, what is...
Taylor Hawkins. That's how I became familiar with him.
Yeah.
Going to that
And
show.
you know what you're not mentioning is like the Beatles, and they were massively popular, but again, they didn't really hit the scene when people were buying a lot of records.
Well, the Beatles are in here too, Brad Ryder. They have the 7th highest-selling rock record of all time with the Sgt. Pepper's By Damn Lonely Hearts Club Band. They sold 32 million, but you're right, in the 60s it wasn't...
Yeah.
You know, hell, in the 60s, some parents said to their children, no, I'm not giving you the money for that record. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where's Elvis?
I don't see Elvis in here.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yeah, very surprising.
But again, like to our point, maybe that was before records were just a must. And the way they released records were different back then too, Josh. You know, albums weren't so much of a big deal as it was a single.
Yeah, the 45s.
Right.
This quick Google says Elvis Presley, everything he released has sold over 1 billion.
Yeah.
Over 1 billion records.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose.
And Michael Jackson was in the 100 and some million. He was way up there too, if you consider everything he's put out.
Yeah, but you know, it wasn't right. Elvis records, it wasn't like
and again,
he went...
this is worldwide.
Yep. There you go. There's some interesting characters in here on these all-time lists. I mean, Shania Twain had a record that sold 30 million copies.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Led Zeppelin, of course, had a couple in there. Celine Dion had a record that sold 21 million copies. I wouldn't know Adele if she was kicking my ass.
Oh, I love Adele.
But she has a record that sold 27 million. Metallica is in there, and of course, they're in town this weekend. Their first of 2 shows is tonight. Their 1991 record, the Black Album, sold 22 million copies.
I'm being, well, I was going to say forced, but that's not the right word. I'm gladly going to an Adele concert with my wife in a few months.
You're going to see Adele in concert.
Oh, where's that at?
Yeah,
in Vegas.
I thought she was doing a residency.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's sweet.
so last March, last Christmas, I bought that for my wife for Christmas because she's always wanted to see her.
Well, tell me then, if she was kicking my ass, what song might she be singing?
Don't ask me.
What song, Josh?
I don't know if it's called Hello, but
yes, it is.
Is it called Hello? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one that
You've
they
probably
played
heard
on the
it before.
radio. Yeah, that's me and my dad's artist together. We used to listen to her all the time.
Creed actually are in town tomorrow. Well, they're at Treasure Island.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I got a couple texts on that. All right, so we don't have to spend all day on this. I got excited. But throughout this list of biggest selling albums ever, there's a lot of powerhouse acts. Michael Jackson, AC/DC, Whitney Houston, Pink Floyd, Eagles, folks you'd expect to hear from. Bee Gees, my God, massive.
Oh, I love the Bee Gees.
Who doesn't? If you don't love the Bee Gees, there's something wrong with you.
Yes.
The one that grabbed me, I mean, I guess aside from Adele, just because I'm not familiar at all with who that is, I was trying to find the one that would surprise you. Bob Marley, okay, yeah, he was wildly popular all over the world.
Blind Melon.
Blind Melon, where are they?
Just kidding.
The massive record that grabbed me, 20 million copies, someone called Norah Jones. Anybody?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, what's her song?
Heard the name.
Yeah,
you've... Yeah.
I'm imagining you hear. She's like a pianist, right? Kind of very good at piano.
It says here in the year 2000+2, someone called Norah Jones had a record that sold 20 million copies.
She does a lot of Christmas stuff, it looks like.
What a life, Brad Ryder. I mean, consider Metallica, who's, like I said, in town tonight, and then they play another show. So consider that life. Cut a record. Sell 20 million copies of the damn thing, whether you deserve it or not. And you're just on easy street until the day that you die.
Well, do that a few times.
Right.
Think about it. Yeah.
And but you don't have to do it a few times. Oh, here's what's your name again? Ashley. Linkin Park Hybrid Theory did sell 17 million records. Nice. I never could have told you that either, just like the Creed thing. Never could have guessed that.
What's another obscure name on that list, or did you go through?
No. I could go back and find another obscure name. Well, there's a couple of soundtracks. There's Grease and there's Titanic.
The Bodyguard soundtrack, too.
The Bodyguard? Why does that not grab me? What is The Bodyguard?
Whitney Houston. I Will
sure.
Always Love You.
Yeah, that's it. Just call it a Whitney Houston record. Yeah. You know. One that might surprise you. I don't know. Tell me if this surprises you. 1999, Carlos Santana had a record called Supernatural that sold over 20 million copies.
Yeah.
That was huge.
I was going to say, I bet there's some artists on there that we've never heard of from, like Mexico or something like that most people don't.
I was trying to figure out if there was like maybe a one-hit wonder on there.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
They literally had one hit on the record that was
Vanilla
good.
Ice.
Everything else was garbage, and they sold 20 million
Vanilla
copies.
Ice could be it. Did you see that, or you're just guessing?
No, I'm guessing Vanilla. When you mentioned a one-hit wonder that blew up.
Ace of Base is on here, 23 million.
Ace of Base?
Yes.
I only know one of their songs.
Spice Girls, Ace of Base. I mean, Santana maybe was a poor addition just because he's been around for 65, 70 years or whatever. He's incredible.
So according to Grammy.com, 45 million copies. That's how many copies of the Bodyguard soundtrack sold worldwide. Wow.
And here's Def Leppard Hysteria, Josh. It says somewhere around 13, 14 million. Carlos Santana, I never gave a rip. Never about Carlos Santana. Not my style. And then I saw him in concert 6-7 years ago. He opened up for Rod Stewart, and it blew my friggin' mind. That dude is incredible, and his band is incredible. Here's a text. What about Motley Crue? Motley Crue never sold anywhere near these friggin' other people. Queen, they have a couple of compilation records that are in there somewhere. All right, there you go.
Billy Joel is not on here anywhere.
Yes, he is.
Is he? Okay.
A greatest hits record he released many years ago. He's up there in the 20 million there. Yes, he is.
That's my guy.
You love Billy Joel.
I do.
I love a few of his songs, too. I do.
Oh, yeah.
It might surprise you what my favorite Billy Joel song is. You tell us your favorite Billy Joel song, Brad Ryder, since you're such a big fan.
I seriously, I like 20, 25, 30 of his songs, but I guess The End is a pretty good song.
All right, see, I don't know that one. Could you sing it to me?
No, I can't really.
I
haven't had my coffee.
My favorite Billy Joel song, and maybe it's a cover, I don't know, is when he says, Johnny's and the down on Sunset Boulevard. Say goodbye to Hollywood. I love that friggin' song. Yeah. I could listen to Say Goodbye to Hollywood all day long.
Mine is She's Always a Woman. That's the best.
I've seen him 5 times in concert.
This song is boring.
You recommended it
I
to
know
me
I did, and I regret it.
I love that song.
When I first met Ashley, I think she heard Josh and I going back and forth on all these rock bands and rock songs that we love so much, and she said, look, I don't know Dick Tracy about a lot of these 70s, 80s. Would you write down some ballads that I might like? And I wrote down a couple by Billy Joel, and I regret it.
I love them.
Why do you regret it?
Because She's Always a Woman. It's such a boring song.
No.
What about I Thought She Was a Woman? I've had that experience before.
In this day and age, that would fit.
Oh, man.
A Matter of Trust. I like that song.
Yeah.
What about the theme to Bosom Buddies, My Life?
Oh, yeah.
That they play that a lot on the radio.
Oh,
I hear that
I know
all the
they
time.
do.
And it reminds, all I think about is Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks and, God, what was the other actor's name?
Peter Scolari?
Yeah.
Is that the guy?
Yeah. They were.
He's got a couple concerts coming up. I'm not sure where around the country where he's playing with Sting. That would be a phenomenal show.
Delivery Driver Jesus Loves Uptown Girl. I like that one a lot,
too.
Oh, come on.
What's the one that goes Harry Truman, Doris Day, Red China, Johnny?
Oh, no.
We didn't start the fire.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I love that
Just
one.
miserable.
I thought that was a Fall Out Boy song.
Just miserable.
Did they do a cover of that?
They did. They did an updated version of it.
Oh, is it bad?
It's pretty bad.
Is it?
Yep.
Throw it all into the garbage. Last night, the Twins won the first of their 4-game series down there in Arlington, Texas. They beat the defending world champion Texas Rangers 3-2. Oh, my God, here we are talking about Carlos Santana again.
Yeah.
Carlos Santana, the baseball version, hit a sacrifice fly in the 9th inning that ended up as the game winner. I watched last night's game, of course. The Twins' pitching staff was solid. Bailey Ober and Griffin Jacks. And I forget Alcala's first name. I believe it might be Jorge.
Yep.
And Jaron Duran. They were solid.
Yeah, they're going to need, they're going to need to take 3 or 4 this weekend, really. I mean, we're kind of at the stage now, like we were talking about yesterday, where they can't really afford to just split or even lose series the way, Cleveland kind of rebounded after losing those first 2 games to us last weekend. And now we're still 4 out. So, the Twins are going to need to win at least 2 of the next 3, because I think next week they go to San Diego, and San Diego is red hot right now. San Diego's won 9 of their last 10, so.
Friggin' San Diego. I hear a lot of good things. Willie Castro got the dong out last night. That was his 10th bomb of the season. The Rangers were up 2-0 early in the ballgame, and then we played the audio. Cal Farmer hit that Little League, Little League home run.
Yeah, they gave him officially a triple, but it should have been an inside-the-park home run.
You didn't think there should have been an error ruled on that?
No, I don't think so, because that guy, I know he had a little bit of trouble picking it up, but that was, after it got away from him, that's a tough play to make. When you're trying to run that down full speed and pick up the ball,
There was a lot of English on that baseball after it. And that friggin' center fielder, he had
the official scores, they say anything that's not a routine play. Okay, well, that wasn't a routine play.
True, the way it careened off the wall. That was fun to watch, Cal Farmer rounding the bases at full speed. That must have sucked. That's too much running.
He looked winded.
The crowd, I shouldn't say the crowd, the dugout got a huge kick out of it because he's no kid anymore. I mean, I remember back when I played beer league softball. You guys know the stories. We won a dozen or so division titles. Back when I played, the worst thing in the damn world was when you were on first base and one of your big shot teammates would smoke one to the fence and everyone expected you to run from first base all the way home. That was miserable. This is fun. So officially last night, Twins catcher Christian Vasquez hit 10 years of big league service. He's officially made it 10 years in Major League Baseball. Before the game, get ready now, this is going to get Josh thinking about having a house party again. Before the game, they saluted Christian with balloons, cookies, and a mariachi band in the clubhouse.
I love mariachi bands.
When are they going to... I thought mariachi bands were just with the guitars.
Yeah, and it was... Go ahead.
That doesn't sound like a mariachi band.
Oh, I thought Dana was trying to get in there to say something. You were yawning.
No,
your facial expression was like you're about to say something. Yeah, I expected like the Mexican hat dance or something we've all heard.
Where's those big fat guitars that they play? Well, that must have been fun. Tonight they go again, 7 o'clock. Well, this sounds good for the Twins. The Rangers are starting a left-hander by the name of Andrew Heaney, or Haney, I'm not sure. He is tied for the most losses in baseball. And the Twins are going to go ahead with that Simeon Woods-Richardson kind of a setup. So I really enjoyed last night's game. I know some folks aren't thrilled by low-scoring games, but I enjoyed the pitching last night.
That 10-year thing is a big deal, going back to that a little bit, because no matter, I'm going to get the amount wrong a little bit, but it's not just players. If you're a manager, if you're a trainer, if you work for a team for 10 years, you get to dip into the MLB pension when you retire, and I want to say it's like upwards of $70,000 to $80,000 a year you get for the rest of your life.
Dude.
So that's why, going back to that whole deal, that's why they celebrated that a little bit for him, because once you hit that 10-year mark, you get kind of taken care of a little bit when you're retired.
And they give you one of those golden tickets where you can just show up to a ballpark and flash it, and they give you 2 free tickets.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the country.
Too. Yep.
How long did you work for the Twins, Brad?
I worked for the Twins for 6 years, but the Twins also have a really good pension program, not to dive too deep into, but with the American League, where I will, when I retire from this job that I've got now, I will be eligible to dip into that a little bit too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You're set for life, for Christ's sake. Now, what is this?
This is when you and I tried our hand at mariachi.
That sounds pretty good to me. Sounds better than she can eat with her feet, she can talk with her mouth, she can drink all the beer, whatever the hell that old...
Whatever.
She can act like a pain in the ass all day long.
What do you think about Big Shot?
Oh, I like that song.
I like that one, too.
It's just, some of these I've just heard too often.
And live and in concert, Big Shot he's really good at performing Big Shot.
We're going back to Billy Joel, in case someone's just tuning in. We're going back to... and some of them I've just heard too often. Your name is Josh. Big Shot, Uptown Girl, she's always a woman. Some of them I just, you know what I mean?
My wife worked at the piano bar that used to be at Mall of America, and so she cannot listen to any more Billy Joel.
Oh, I bet.
So much Billy Joel. Yeah, Piano Man especially.
No way I can
Billy
make
Joel
it
and
through
Elton
Piano
John,
Man.
she can't do it. Just can't listen anymore.
She can take all my money. She can eat all my food. She can get her parents on my ass over private conversations.
Well, that's back when he was married to Christy Brinkley, so I'm sure he was pretty happy back then.
Hubba.
I bet he was.
I was surprised how many Billy Joel songs I saw him in concert. A friend of mine that we used to work with, he absolutely loves Billy Joel and Elton John, and I went to this. It's not that I normally would have went to, but it's like, gosh, I know a lot of these songs. I had no idea I knew that many.
That was the one at the XL Energy Center, right?
Well, it could have been. This was 15
it was a long
years
time
ago.
ago.
It was a really long
I was
time
at that one too.
She farts like a man, but she's always a woman to me. Here's someone texting in for the longest time. You want to talk about a song that needs to go away? Whoa, for the longest time.
like
Shut
that one.
up.
I love it. I
Oh,
like that
come
too.
on. It's terrible. A couple listeners have texted in and said, all right, Randy's not here. He's sick. Are we going to have a Brad fight?
It sucks. We had a really good one planned for today. We'll have to push it to next week. I thought you guys would like the topic quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
It's very
Is it a transferable topic from week to week?
It is, Brad.
Okay.
Right.
And you would never be able to guess what it is.
It is.
It's just silly, is what it, I mean. I think
Terry Ryan. No, I'm kidding.
It is transferable. Like Josh said, it's a shame because we were all set and prepared for a dad fight trivia segment here between Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder, but Randy punked out. So the Twins went ahead and dumped Byron Buxton on the 10-day injured list. Edouard Julien is going to come up back into the mix as a result. Buck hasn't played since Monday. He's got something wrong with his right hip. They say the MRIs came back clean, but he still has some discomfort and on and on and on. And they're going to give him a break.
Well, the day before yesterday, they said they were going to sit him down for a few games. And if you're going to sit him down for 4, 5, 6 games, then why not put him on that 10-day? It just makes sense. Get another body on the bench that way.
I'll tell you what. At some point, we're going to get Buck back, they're going to get Brooks back, and they're going to get Correa back. I just hope that really all comes together like that, because that would be something to see.
Yeah, let's just hope we're not 7 games out when that happens.
Yeah, but what do you care? You're financially set for life.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got that Twins money, man.
Yeah, you'll get paid either way.
Oh.
You get paid either friggin' way. All right. I'm going to skip. There's a great baseball story. No offense, Brad Ryder, I want to save this for when Randy is back. God, I was chomping at the bit to talk about Monday. Don't miss Monday's show. All right, so We had this conversation earlier. What have we become? The friggin' hawk to a girl threw out the first pitch at the Mets game yesterday. And it really upset a lot of Mets fans.
Hawk to it.
Really upset a lot of Mets fans. One Mets fan busted out my favorite slogan. Josh, what's my favorite slogan?
Eatin' ain't cheating.
Okay, second favorite slogan.
Whoever smelt it, dealt it.
You're getting there. You're getting there.
Good meal at a fair price.
Ooh, another good one. When it comes to scandalous, inappropriate material, what do I love to hear out of people's faces?
Boy, I don't know. How's it going to affect the children?
How am I supposed to explain this to my children? I love that little battle cry. But that was a big theme from Mets fans when they saw the Hawk Tua girl was throwing out a first pitch at the Mets game. How am I supposed to explain that to my kids?
They're not going to have any idea.
Don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I always say the same thing. You're the adult. You should be able to figure something out. Or just say none of your business. Whatever happened to a parent saying to their kid, that's none of your friggin' business. You're a kid. Whatever happened to that? But now there's that ongoing, how am I? That was a big one.
As Dana knows very well, most people don't pay attention or care about the first pitch unless it's a giant celebrity.
Exactly. And most of the time, there isn't just one first pitch.
No,
there's like 7 or 8. So yeah.
And also, I went to a lot.
Special.
I went to a lot of ball games at the Metrodome with my folks when I was a kid, and I never said, "Mom, Dad, who's that throwing out the first pitch?" That was the least of my concerns.
Not to mention, in today's day and age, it would be the kids explaining to the parent who the Hawk Tua girl is.
That's a good point.
So, that happened. I did like this comment from a Mets fan who said, I just want to see if I have this clear. You go on a video and reveal your blow jay technique, and then you get to throw out a first pitch at a Major League Baseball game. That's what we got going here?
She's making a killing off of that.
She really is.
It's so stupid.
Every time I think she's probably gone, she reappears and does something.
I know.
Every time.
Yeah.
It says here, she is currently traveling the world as an influencer.
Man.
I love that term. What is she influencing exactly?
Yeah. Blowjob techniques. I don't get it anymore. You know that I just don't get it. Oh, you forgot about my absolute favorite slogan, Josh. A listener texted it in. $20 is $20.
You like that one, yeah.
Okay, we've reached a historical moment, and it comes up every year this time. But it is always interesting to talk about because there's always somebody new who's unfamiliar with this story. 104 years ago today, in 1920, New York Yankees pitcher Carl Mays killed a guy with a fastball that hit him in his left temple. Dude. That poor guy's name was Ray Chapman. He played for the Cleveland Indians at the time, and he became the first and only guy to ever die from a major league pitch.
I'd love to know the speed. So different back then.
Yeah,
it's amazing. I mean, I know the helmets and all that kind of stuff, but it's amazing that nobody dies. Like Farmer, we were just talking about him. My God, his face got exploded by a pitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're right.
Or we've seen pitchers get hit by line drives. In the head.
That's brutal.
That's another one.
Yeah.
This guy died on the ball field, and we bring him up every year this time. I don't know. I'm just going to take a guess. In 1920, I bet that baseball was maybe going 70.
Yeah, I'd guess around there probably. Somebody reminded me of your favorite slogan. Actually, it's "Happy Wife, Happy Life."
Oh God.
Sunday Fun Day. You like that one? Foxy Grandma, you love that bumper sticker.
Foxy Grandma. That's great. The Vikings junior varsity team will play their second televised practice game tomorrow afternoon against the junior varsity Cleveland Browns. Help me out with this. I read a story yesterday that the Vikings are desperate to sign a dude named Stephen Gilmore or Stephon Gilmore. He's a cornerback. He's a defensive back.
Cornerback, I believe.
Does anyone know any more about this? I don't know why, but
I've heard the name, but yeah.
All right.
Well, why is he still out there?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with him. I don't know. On John Madden, is it biopic or biopic?
Biopic.
Biopic.
Oh, I always heard biopic.
Me too.
Okay.
Tomato.
Another one of my favorite slogans.
I've never heard tomato in real life.
No,
neither of us.
Just that saying.
Listeners are texting in some of my other favorite slogans. Yes, piss isn't funny. Piss is piss. That's something my grandmother said many years ago. Piss isn't funny. Piss is piss. I love the slogan "State of Hockey." You know that. There is a John Madden biopic coming out. I found some middle ground there, John.
Yeah,
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Would you watch a John Madden biopic?
I absolutely would.
You would?
If it was on, maybe.
Probably, yeah. I would.
You wouldn't watch it if it wasn't on.
Yeah. I'm not going to go search for it.
The film reportedly will tell the origin story of the Madden video game franchise. Boy, we are obsessed with the Madden video game thing.
Oh, yeah. Just, I got an alert. My son downloaded it this morning. Yeah, couldn't wait for the new one.
It's crazy what this has become. It says here, the newest edition of the game comes out tomorrow. What are you talking? We've been talking about it for weeks.
That was NCAA football.
That was the
I'm sorry.
game.
You're right.
Yeah,
That
was the college game.
Yeah, a more expensive version came out earlier this week, but the regular version came out today.
You're right.
Or 11 o'clock last night, I think.
We were talking about the college game. Okay, Josh, I hear you on that. All right. So, in this John Madden movie, John Madden will be played by Brad. Do you have any guesses who might be playing John Madden?
Oh, Tim Walz. No, I don't know.
Do they look alike?
No.
Oh.
What kind of in the face? I thought they did. No, I have no guesses.
Maybe De Niro?
Yeah, Robert De Niro.
Shoot, that Frank Caliendo.
Oh yeah, just pin him to do it.
He could.
You know, if he wasn't a quarter of the size
That's
of John
the thing,
Madden,
he's too small.
Who was that big old actor? Oh, I'll never come up with his name. Oh, okay. You know what? Okay, he's dead, but you know who would have been perfect?
John Candy.
Well, John Candy would have been great.
That's a good one.
And that's not where I was going, but John Candy also, deader than Derringer. Brian Dennehy.
Oh yeah, he'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but here's the correct
Chris Pratt would be somebody you'd expect since he's in absolutely everything.
Everything.
In this John Madden movie, he will be played by Nicolas Cage.
You know, I thought that was kind of a goofy choice, but I could actually see him nailing it. He surprises you sometimes.
Really?
He doesn't look anything like it, but maybe they'll, through the magic of Hollywood, make him look similar.
Say the physical features don't exactly match up to me, but
no, not at all.
Is this just to get attention? Because I know for the last couple of years, it's so hip and trendy to be in love with Nicolas Cage and everything he does. Is this just because of that trend that he's been hired for this gig?
I don't know. I mean, he hasn't done too many high-profile movies.
No, he
lately.
hasn't. This
but this isn't high-profile either.
This smells to me like a bunch of other people said no.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, that could be. Everyone else said no.
Oh, I wonder. Yeah.
I didn't consider that. I got to see this. I got to see Nicolas Cage. And don't get me wrong, I don't hate Nicolas Cage. I hate that it's become this trend to... But, I mean, I'll tell you, anytime you ask me, one of the funniest movies ever is Raising Arizona, and one of the funniest characters ever is Nathan... What the hell was his name in that movie? Come on.
That was a good movie.
Oh, it's so funny. He had a funny name in the movie. I can't believe I forgot it. Nathan. Oh, that was the name of the family he stole the baby from. Come on, somebody help me. Who's got an internet?
I'm looking it up.
Oh, for Christ's sake, I hate myself.
Trey Wilson?
No. No.
What's the character's name you're looking for?
That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, okay. I thought, okay. Trey Wilson played Nathan Arizona Sr.
That's it. No.
Okay.
And what's his name? I forgot his
Was
name.
it some initials?
Nicolas Cage.
What?
Yeah. Nicolas Cage's character.
H.I. McDonough.
Yes.
What? Okay.
Yes. H.I. Oh, man. John Goodman. So hilarious in that movie. All right. If you don't know.
John Goodman would have been a good John Madden.
Possibly.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Man, if you don't know Raised in Arizona.
That was a funny movie.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
The scene where he steals the diapers and is being chased through the neighborhood by every dog in the neighborhood and through people's homes, and his wife picks him up on the fly. Oh, my God. What was her name? I got to stop dwelling on this because I can't remember.
Well, Holly Hunter.
Holly Hunter.
Yeah.
My God. Well,
She had her day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is not good, Randy. Your name is Brad Ryder. Kurt Busch was arrested for driving drunk on Tuesday night. Former NASCAR champion Kurt Busch was arrested for driving drunk.
I suppose if I had to be a passenger in a car where someone's driving drunk, I might feel a little more comfortable with him than like my buddy Ben or something.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You'd be more comfortable with a guy who could handle Talladega.
Yeah.
Than your friend Ben. This was in North Carolina. There were allegations he was driving 18 miles per hour over a posted 45 mile per hour speed limit. He spit 2 times the legal limit.
If you're only going 18 miles an hour over the speed limit on 494, you better be in the right lane these days.
Boy, you're not kidding.
Friggin' right. He was on a 45 mile per hour road, but yeah, if you're on 35, 494, 694, you better get cooking. He's very sorry, Kurt Busch is, you guys.
Oh, well, that's good. Everything's okay then.
Yeah, he's very sorry. Hey, Ashley, we got company, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
He's very sorry. He's sorry that he's disappointed his family, his racing family, his fans. He retired from full-time racing last year. That was one of the things that kept me engaged with NASCAR the last few years is the fan hatred of the Busch brothers. I really enjoyed that. I did.
I don't follow it close enough to understand why there would be.
I don't remember why hardcore NASCAR fans hated Kurt and Kyle Busch so much, but one of my buddies who lives up in Brainerd, if you even said Kurt or Kyle Busch, he'd take a swing at you. He hated every time they won a race, it would ruin his whole friggin' day. All right, Brad, you've handled yourself quite well. We got to get going again.
Okay.
But go ahead and have a wonderful weekend. Text Randy maybe some sarcasm about him being sick and missing today.
Oh, I will. Yeah. I'll wait till he feels a little bit better, but I will.
Text him, or that's not how you do it. Meme him. How do you do it, Josh? Send him the video of Woody Harrelson's landlord throwing up in the toilet after the two of them had sex in the movie. What was that movie? Kingpin. Kingpin.
So gross.
It wasn't that bad.
Oh, that was terrible.
I've
really shook something loose there, Tiger.
I've mentioned recently that is a scene that I cannot watch.
I have to skip it.
I do too.
When she
That
talks
would be one way to get him to block me.
Oh, wait a minute. No, Woody's the one throwing up.
Woody throws up.
You know what I mean. Yeah, Woody's the one. Yeah, there's a splashing sound in that video that I cannot watch it.
Or when she's like, what is it about good sex that always makes me have to crack?
Yeah. Send that to Randy Shaver. We'll see you later.
All right, we'll see you.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Former Navy SEAL Sean Ryan shares real stories from real people from all walks of life on The Sean Ryan Show.
Tucker Carlson, what is it that you think that people gravitate
I'm not
towards?
self-aware. I refuse to be self-aware. I don't even look in mirrors at all, which you can probably tell from my appearance. I don't have a crazy high IQ, or I really don't have that many skills. I would say my main skill is I believe my instincts. I don't hesitate to follow my instincts, ever. To the extent that I have, I've gotten in trouble.
The Sean Ryan Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Nobody likes a know-it-all who sits around talking about their genitalia.
On 93X.
Here we go. It is 8:26. Welcome back to the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show, and welcome back in studio, Dr. Andrea from Gurman Animal Hospital in Minnetonka. Hello, Andrea.
Good morning. How are you?
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, thanks for coming back. We a lot of folks betted against it. They did.
I had fun last time.
We did too.
Yeah, you fit in perfectly, we thought.
Well, thank you.
A couple weeks ago, Andrea made her debut here on the program. Text in 651-989-9393 if and you have a question, a health question about your pet. And I have to tell you that our text machine is getting wrecked right now.
Oh, this really is crazy. Yeah.
Our text machine is getting smoked right now.
Yeah, you were wondering when you came in off air, you're asking, like, did people enjoy the segment? Did it go over well?
Yeah.
I mean, based on text, yes, very much so.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear
Better response than Metallica tickets. You're bigger than Metallica.
We could go back and show you. That's true.
So
I'll tell you, these are my text messages at night. Oftentimes, clients and friends.
Do
hey,
they?
my dog ate chocolate. Hey.
Oh,
my
no.
dog ate gum. All those things.
Do you say, hey, look, I'm trying to have a beer and relax?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
So Nick mentioned health questions, but what about behavioral questions?
Oh, sure.
Is that something you are comfortable with too?
Yeah, I mean, I can take a stab at it. I get a ton of behavioral questions.
Okay, because there's a couple that have come in, like this one. This person says, my dog only eats when I'm watching. What does that mean?
My dog does the same thing.
Oh,
He's
really?
just a social eater. It gives him comfort to have an owner around while he's eating.
Yeah.
So
What?
a lot of times I will like sit and fold laundry while my dog sits and eats.
Yeah, I've had a pet like that.
Yeah.
Have you really?
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, it's just a comfort behavior to stand there while he's eating.
It's just because they love you so damn much.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cute.
They're looking for a steak too.
Yep.
Why do dogs roll in stinky stuff? I've got a dog that does. He loves rolling in anything that stinks.
It's gross, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
Yeah, so it's kind of a territorial thing, trying to get their smell on that dead animal or whatever it is. But I can't tell you how many times I have dogs come in that are sitting in raccoon poop and all that stuff.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's a lot of bunny poop.
Yeah.
Or deer poop. He
Which
likes
is
to roll in.
harmless. So harmless.
I always thought it was, they're claiming whatever the dead animal or whatever it is, they're claiming it as theirs.
Yeah, kind of. It's like a territorial thing.
Yes.
Yep.
So if
Yep.
another animal comes onto the property,
Yep.
They'll know, hey, that dead bird belongs to you, not
Yep.
me. Right.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of text messages coming in, questions about pets. Good. I'm glad you brought up the behavioral thing too, Josh. So there's all different directions we could go here. Listener says they have a 1-year-old German Shepherd Lab mix. Oh, that sounds like a great dog.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
Definitely.
Super
Awesome.
active, I'm sure.
Those are both great dogs. You bet it's hyperactive?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
German Shepherds and Labs known for that?
Yeah, I mean, the nervous energy of a shepherd and the energy of a lab.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
That's a fun.
combo.
Yeah,
That's-
it is a fun.
My wife is obsessed with Danes, and so those are the dogs that we've had.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing, Mom. They get energy about once a day. I mean, you take them for a 20-minute walk, they're almost mad at you, like, why do we have to walk so much?
Lazy.
Danes are good apartment dogs.
Oh, that's what I've heard. Yeah, it's obviously they're so big, but they don't need they don't even want a lot of
No.
exercise.
So here's a question about this 1-year-old German Shepherd Lab mix. She constantly chews wood, sticks, bark off the trees. Is there a deficiency in her diet causing this? The listener says, even when we're on a walk, she'll pull up roots. Anything insightful. A couple of trees are going to go down in the neighborhood. Anything insightful would be helpful.
No, it's typically never a nutrient deficiency unless she were pregnant or postpartum, like had a litter.
Oh.
Usually it's just a behavioral thing. They like to chew on things. Some dogs
What is
are
it?
more
And that's fine?
oral than others.
Nothing concerning there, like the dog's not stressed
No.
or everything's okay?
It's usually behavioral.
What is it about pregnant or post? What was the word you used?
Partum.
Postpartum that would cause a.
It's usually like a calcium deficiency or an iron deficiency. So a lot of times they'll eat like soil.
Oh my gosh.
But an average dog that's on regular, well-balanced dog food, it's not a concern.
Have you ever had a client bring in their pregnant dog for you to deliver the puppies? For you to help with the delivery?
Yeah, so typically they deliver at home. Where they're comfortable. The only time I see them or we will see them is if there's one stuck or she hasn't labored like the last puppy.
Yeah.
And then you have to do a C-section. But we don't do a ton of reproductive stuff. That's a whole different ball game.
Okay.
It's that's breeder's livelihood, right? So
We had 2 dogs give birth in the house. We had lab puppies when I was a very young kid.
So fun.
And then we had Springer Spaniel puppies when I was a little bit older. And there was one that didn't quite make it all the way through.
Yeah.
Those Springer Spaniels, they require a lot too, right? Aren't they very hyperactive?
Oh my gosh.
Although we got very lucky. With the female Springer that we got when I was about 14 years old, then we bred her with a male. She was very, very low key. Very low key. I heard that was really rare. So we got lucky with her. Her puppies, of course, were. So, what's the cutest puppy you've ever seen? You've been a veterinarian now for how many years? What's the cutest puppy breed you've ever seen in your life?
I mean, you got to go with like the little bulldogs that are tiny,
really?
tiny. They're so cute.
Little chubby cheeks.
Yeah, just like full of wrinkles.
By the way, we established last time Dr. Andrea was in studio that I own the cutest dog in the world.
Yes.
Well, you are a client who pays her. So I mean, there's an asterisk next to that.
I'm not going to lie, though. I mean, my staff loves her.
That's right, Cubby.
Loves her.
So bulldog puppies, I'll have to look those up. Okay.
Night shift nurse Jesus said, my uncle lets his black lab drink 1 light beer occasionally. Is that terrible? And can dogs become alcoholics?
You know, I don't know if they've ever done studies on dogs drinking too much and alcoholism, but I'm assuming there's probably some withdrawal if they are drinking a ton.
Wouldn't that be something to see your dog laying in the corner looking like Keith Richards after a...
No.
I think back to those college days when, people had dogs in their houses and they were drinking beers and giving their dog beer.
Yeah, I've heard some people react really negatively to something like that. When I had a little dachshund, we let him drink a little bit of beer. He was German. We let him drink a little bit of beer. But we never let it get out of hand. I always kept an eye on him.
I'd imagine an Irish wolfhound could probably down a couple of Steve Weisers just fine.
When I had an
English... I wouldn't recommend it, but I think it's like 1 beer is probably harmless.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I had an English lab, it would sneeze
Not
whenever it drank beer. Do you know why that is?
Maybe you had an allergy.
Yeah, every time it would like smell the beer, take like a little snip, it would sip, it would just
maybe
start
the bubbles
sneezing.
got in its nose.
Yeah. It was so cute though.
Widespread panic Jesus wants to know, what's the best way to trim a large dog's nails for a dog that doesn't like her nails trimmed?
Oh boy. I'll tell you, my dad used to do it when we were kids. He used pliers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, those patients are hard. So a lot of times we give sedatives before they even come in, pretty heavy sedatives, a couple hours before they come in so we can trim their nails. And it will take like 3 to 4 people.
Oh, boy.
Otherwise, we're sedating them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we, unfortunately, our dog who just passed, he very big, 185 pounds. And he did not like his nails done, and eventually they said, we're not even going to try.
Yeah.
He's too aggressive.
Well, it's like wrestling a big man.
Yeah.
By the way, Josh, did you see this? The individual who asked about dogs drinking beer. Did you see how they started their message? Come on. This is night shift nurse Jesus. Get a grip. The message started with, can you ask the pet guy? It's Dr. Andrea from Minute German Animal. You'll get used to it. Golden Doodles. Got a question coming in on Golden Doodles. They've become a massive thing, have they not?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have read that article about the guy that actually initially bred them.
No.
And his regret because it's gotten so out of control.
Aren't those the ones that people are like pet napping because they're worth so much money, or is that a different breed?
Well, everybody wanted them because they were supposedly, they don't shed and hypoallergenic to people that had allergies. The problem is they bred them so much that hybrid that they bred initially really doesn't exist anymore.
Okay. We're talking with Dr. Andrea from German Animal Hospital in Minnetonka. Folks are texting in their questions about their beloved pets, and we've come to a question about a golden doodle. Gave her a heavy clipping on her coat. She has bumps on her skin all over. Is this possibly dermatitis or bug bites?
Yeah, I'd probably say more so dermatitis than bug bites. The poodle in those doodles are known to get sebaceous cysts all along their back, so that could be it too. Otherwise, my guess is probably a little skin infection. I'd have it checked out.
Is that just something they're susceptible to because of their oily skin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, totally. In poodles, it's just one of their things they get.
So nothing to be terribly worried about, but maybe get some medication?
Yeah, I'd either a medicated shampoo or some antibiotics probably. I'd have it looked at.
Medicated shampoo. Josh, what's it like to bathe one of your Great Danes?
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, they love it.
Do they?
Yeah, they absolutely
Do
love
they just
it.
lay down?
No, they'll stand there and you just kind of shower them off.
Kind of like washing a horse?
Yeah, they love it.
So they don't put up a fight?
Not at all.
Some dogs don't dig it that much.
We had a shepherd. She loved to be vacuumed. I mean, anytime you'd be running the vacuum, she'd run over and say, hey, vacuum me.
What? That's like the opposite of most dogs. They're afraid of the vacuum.
No, she loved it. Fire truck exporter Jesus said, I have a 7-month-old Malinois. Say that for me?
Yeah, Belgian Malinois.
Yeah.
Those are like the police dogs.
Yes, those are cool dogs. Who will not let my oldest son, who's 9, sit down. The rest of the family can relax, but he cannot. What's up?
The dog pesters the kid and won't let the kid sit down?
Won't let him sit down, he said.
Yeah, I would say that's a hierarchy issue, meaning the Belgian Malinois is trying to dominate the kid. He's trying to not be the bottom of the totem pole.
Well, that could be. Could that get iffy?
It could. I mean, Belgian Malinois, they're working dogs, right?
They could kick your
guard
butt.
dogs. So that would probably be something I'd work with a behaviorist on.
Yeah. Sounds kind of.
A behaviorist. I didn't know there was such like
there's
a dog
veterinary
whisperer.
behaviorists.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Hey, Josh, here we go. A text from someone who is a cut above.
A cat owner?
A cat owner. That's right. And one of the elite has texted in a question about their cat.
Sure.
Constantly eating and always thirsty, he eats hot dog buns and bread if he can get to it. He'd probably eat the whole bag of cat food if we let him. Does he have diabetes or something?
I'd probably say less so diabetes, more so thyroid disease. We talked about that a couple weeks ago.
We did?
Yeah, hyperthyroidism is one of those things in cats where they're ravenous and they don't tend to gain weight regardless of how hungry they are. So there's medication for it, but I would get the cat in to check some blood work. Sounds like hyperthyroidism.
Okay. Some people take great pride in building a fat cat.
Yeah.
They are cute.
I've had a couple bigger cats. But that's not always the best idea, is it? There are some people who get mad at you if you build yourself a fat cat, meaning feed your cat everything under the sun. You want to plump them up. It can be kind of a dangerous thing, right?
Well, yeah, because they're susceptible to diabetes.
Yeah.
That's the biggest risk. So, yeah. And unfortunately, we've done a disservice to cats because we've domesticated them, that they're not outside chasing their prey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're sitting in the house on a couch and eating food.
Yeah.
So we got to cut their calories and keep them active somehow.
There was just a story out of New Zealand earlier this month about a woman who was sentenced to 2 months in prison because she overfed her dog.
Oh, wow.
What?
Apparently he became obese, unable to walk. He got a couple diseases and he died.
Poor
and they said it
baby.
was because she overfed him.
I mean, how ridiculous was it?
How big? So 53.7 kilograms.
Oh.
So that's like 110 pounds.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
And, some dogs can wear that weight, others cannot.
Yeah, it depends on what was the breed.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Friggin'
I'll see if I can
corgi or
look that
something?
Oh my gosh,
110-pound
a
corgi.
Yorkie?
Yeah. A Yorkie?
Oh, Yorkie.
No way.
I said corgi.
Yeah, this is a porky is what this is.
A
I'm
what?
looking at the picture of him right.
A porky?
Oh my
Boy.
gosh, that's not right.
That looks like a mixed breed, but it does look like a pit bull. Yeah, I'm not sure.
The poor dog
That
just
poor dog.
That's not right.
heart exploded.
Oh,
Somebody's advocating for that animal.
We had a dog,
Yeah.
same thing. It was from a rescue, and they took the dog away because the people that owned him, same thing, they fed him too much, and he was so heavy. And when we got him, they had thinned him out,
Yeah.
but he had a ton of extra skin.
Oh.
It was crazy
Oh.
how much extra skin
Yeah.
he had.
Well, it's like those people that get bypass, right? They have a ton of extra skin after getting surgery.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Back to cats real quick. And you said, they've been domesticated.
Yep.
They're not going outside and chasing their prey. Like, I had outdoor cats growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else have outdoor cats growing up?
Never had a cat. Well, I lived with a girl who had 2 cats.
Boy, they could be something, I'll tell you, because they'll bring back what they killed, and they'll come back smelling like all hell cut loose on top of them.
Insane.
My buddy said about once a week he gets mouse parts under his pillow.
Yeah, they can get kind of creepy with that. They'll bring in like half of a head and stick it in front of you on the kitchen floor.
Oh, what I did.
I gotta say that our outdoor cats were very, very happy cats. They loved it. They let them out at night. They come back in the morning. I don't know. I guess I fear that now because one of them did get run over in the highway.
Yep.
And there's so much traffic now. I don't know if I'd do it again, but
No,
okay.
I mean, we don't recommend it.
Yeah.
They love it.
Yeah, they do.
This person said, we leave the door open at the house so my dog can go in and out as she pleases. She'll choose to lay on the concrete baking in the sun, just laying there panting. Should I make her come inside when she's getting hot?
No. My dog does that too. It feels
so
good.
That's okay?
Yeah, they're like sunbathing. Feels good.
Yeah.
They can regulate their temperature different than we can too, that they can tolerate a higher heat for a bit longer than we can as humans.
And when they're panting, that's their way of cooling themselves
Totally.
down.
That's the way they sweat, through their paws and panting.
Yeah, I mean, that's when they start just drooling. That's kind of like a dog sweating. One more question before we take a break. We're talking with Dr. Andrea from German Animal Hospital. This is an interesting one. Is it possible for dogs to develop OCD? My lab has started relentlessly searching every nook and cranny in our house and yard for mice and chipmunks. She went as far as to eat a hole in our drywall in our garage. We are at our wits' end.
Ooh, I'm sorry. I mean, I would be a little worried that there'd maybe a rodent in the walls or somewhere in the house or like a mouse nest or something. But yeah, they can develop OCD behaviors. A lot of times, once again, Prozac helps with that too.
Oh.
So they could try something like Prozac to see if that minimizes that behavior. But you might want to get an exterminator out there.
Get an exterminator.
Yeah.
And Prozac, that's very interesting. Yeah, that would drive me nuts.
Yeah.
To see the dog. And you know how dogs are. They will exhaust themselves trying to reach whatever it is they're trying. And maybe possibly even hurt itself. So
totally.
Yeah, go with the Prozac. It works for you, right, Ashley?
Yep.
I know we got to go, but just in a related question from Welding Jesus, he's got a 2-year-old dog. It says Heinz 57 mixture. I'm not familiar with what that means.
Just a mix of breeds.
Okay.
Oh.
He has anxiety so bad he's on drugs, but the drugs don't seem to be working. Do you have any other suggestions?
Oh, gosh. Change the drugs. Sometimes you have to kind of find the perfect cocktail. So Prozac, alprazolam, which is Xanax. A lot of times we'll use clomipramine. All the human drugs that are being used, we're using them in veterinary medicine too. Mm-hmm. There's this thing called a pheromone collar that they can wear on their neck that emits a maternal hormone that's supposed to be calming for them.
Oh, that's so sweet.
But it sounds like you might need to up and modify the drugs a little bit and find the perfect cocktail.
This is great stuff so far. Yeah. I, once for an airplane ride, I took some Xanax, and my dog also took some Xanax.
Yeah, I mean,
I took way more than he did.
And you mixed yours, right?
Well, I used to put a little beer on top of it. Yeah, I mean, and then Daddy would go CP9 in that situation.
Or try and fight a flight attendant.
No, that was it. That wasn't me.
Oh, that wasn't.
Not in front of proper company. That wasn't me.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
I did not get drunk.
I forgot we had a guest.
And high on drugs. I did not try to fight a flight attendant.
Half-assed morning show.
God, here we go again. On 93X.
Well, there you go. Turn the mics up at this point.
Might as well.
Copy. Here's the deal. We love our pets, and now we got a new friend that can help us out if that pet isn't feeling too well. It's Dr. Andrea from German Animal Hospital in Minnetonka. She's in studio, and she's rapid fire answering questions from our dog and cat loving listeners. The number is 651-989-9393. That's how you can send a text in. Oh, what do you got left, Dr. Andrea?
What do you mean? I have a lot left.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm telling you what, the text machine has been cooking since we first dumped your name out loud an hour or so ago. You and our people doctor Dr. James Parnell, I think, need an extra hour.
I agree. We could probably do a whole show with you guys. Dr. P, by the way, will join us come Monday.
Monday.
Book Nerd Jesus, and a couple of people actually had a very similar question. She said their shepherd gets reoccurring ear infections. When the infection clears, he always gets it back after about a month or so. Do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah. Number one would be allergies. So a lot of times if you're not treating the allergy, the ear infection will come back. Number two, I would make sure you get that ear cultured because maybe the medication's not working to ensure that you're using the right medication for that ear. Sometimes you have to see a dermatologist. Believe it or not, there's a veterinary dermatologist, too.
My God.
I had no idea there was all these different types of bats.
There's every damn thing.
Yep.
A text from No More Whiskey Sheezes. So I bet she's crabby. No more whiskey, she says. This one's kind of concerning. She says, I believe my 8-year-old husky mix had a small seizure yesterday. He stiffened up. He fell to his side. He was panting heavily and very confused afterwards. He's fine now. He has an appointment in a week, but I'm wondering your take on this.
Yeah, there's a million different reasons dogs can get seizures. And in middle-aged to older dog, I think that, warrants follow-up. I'd get some lab work checked to make sure there's nothing abnormal on labs. But sometimes we worry about something going on in the head, too.
Yeah.
But sometimes dogs will have one seizure and we'll never see another one.
Well, that would be
that's helpful
nice.
for that dog, yeah.
My brother's dog had that issue for a while before he died. I don't think it was the cause of his death, but he would just kind of flop off to the side and tremble a little bit. And I mean, it was terrifying to watch, really.
I bet.
But what was kind of reassuring is the dog would pop up and just be like, "Hey, what did I miss?"
Yeah.
There's
meds too that you can use to manage it too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This person says my 8-year-old 50-pound black lab, who we feed twice a day, used to get so excited about food and would eat very fast, so fast they had to slow feed a slow feed bowl.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
In the last 1 to 2 months, though, we found she won't finish her food and doesn't get excited about getting fed. Should I be concerned?
Yeah, I would, especially in a lab. I mean, they are chow hounds, right? They get a whole bag of food. So I'd get your pup looked at. Sometimes they get bored of the food, but that doesn't necessarily mean you should change it up because then they play that game with you that when they don't want to eat that food, they'll stop eating and ask for the next bag. But I would recommend getting the dog checked out.
Some pets are just picky eaters.
Yeah, but not labs.
Not labs.
Gosh, they'll eat anything and everything.
Actually, I picture your dogs as the types where you better get your hands out of the way.
Yeah, especially the one that has lab in her. She'll eat everything. Like she has a stomach of steel too. It's crazy.
Yeah, they'll just eat the handlebars off your bicycle
they
and
are
then
garbage disposal.
Yeah. Insane.
They'll eat a wig and a lifetime supply of gum and somehow be
diapers.
Yeah,
a lot of diapers.
Oh no!
Go with the flow. She just said she and her husband have 3 dogs, but they're expecting their first human child in a few weeks. What's your suggestion on introducing them to each other when he pops out of her belly button?
Oh.
I would be sure to bring a blanket or something home from the hospital so the dog can sniff it before he meets the baby.
Yeah. That's so adorable.
And then I would ensure that you are making it a positive interaction by giving the dog treats while he's sniffing the baby. But you have to remember they're still animals, right? So you just always want to be around the kiddo when the dog's around.
Yeah, I've been around
you never
a
know
couple.
what they're going to do.
No, you're right about that. Dr. Andrea from German Animal Hospital answering a few more questions. Well, we got to pull the plug here pretty soon. But this one, I'm really interested in this one and what you might know about the rattlesnake vaccine for hunting dogs.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing.
Is it worth it? I've heard many different things on it, says our listener. The rattlesnake vaccine for hunting dogs.
Yeah, it is worth it if you're going to be in an area that's popular with rattlesnakes. Southern Minnesota, South Dakota. A lot of people in Arizona will actually rattlesnake train their dog. So when they hear the sound, they'll know that they shouldn't go towards it. Yeah,
that's so sweet.
I just don't consider this an area where we'd have to worry about it.
I know there's some in Southern Minnesota for sure, but I haven't seen one here.
Have you treated a dog before that had a snake bite?
Yeah, one of my technicians, her dog was bit by a rattlesnake when she was hiking in South Dakota. And it leaves this huge ulcerated hole that just has to take several weeks to heal up. It's pretty nasty.
To me, I'm just picturing Little House on the Prairie is what I'm picturing. You know what I mean? That's got to be very scary, but also it's very fascinating to me. That,
I know.
That a dog would get snapped up here in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Another cat question. My Kitty is nearing 3 years old. When she was a kitten, she had a nasal infection that damaged her passage. Now she snorts. Is there anything further that can help her out, even though it doesn't really affect her?
Cats are pretty resilient. She's probably doing just fine with that.
I think I'd like having a snorting kitty.
I'm not worried about it at all. I wouldn't be if it had damaged that area.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Josh, do you want a snorting kitty?
Yeah, it would be kind of cute.
You know what I'm talking about. Oh, my God. I almost totally forgot. We have another pair of tickets to Metallica. See, Dr. Andrea is so much bigger than Metallica. I almost forgot that we have one more. Oh, here's one more question. My stepdaughter's hamster is a little bastard. How can I fix this?
I don't really do hamsters,
No?
but they can be sassy little things.
Anybody here hamster owners at any time in their life?
Nope.
Yeah, when we were little kids, we begged our parents for a hamster.
Lucky my parents never caved.
Did you give it a cute name?
I don't remember what the name. I think my sister. It was more my sister. She probably named that.
Was it a situation where you begged for the pet, and then once you got it, after the first couple hours, you never acknowledged it
Pretty
again?
much.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
that's my kids with my chickens.
Oh yeah.
Oh, with the chickens.
My sister too, with her bunny, and that bunny lived forever. It was my mom's responsibility when my sister moved out of state.
Dr. Andrea, you've been a big damn hit.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for coming in. We hope to talk to you in a couple of weeks.
Very sorry to the text we couldn't get to. Like Nick said, I mean, it's been crazy. There's so many coming in.
It has been. We appreciate your interest to all our listeners, and we appreciate Dr. Andrea coming in. Have a great weekend. Are you going to the Metallica concerts?
No, not my style.
Not your style.
What about Green Day? Are you a Green Day?
I would go to Green Day. That was my first CD in 7th grade.
Oh, was it? Okay,
Yep.
yeah. They'll be in town Saturday
I
or
would
tomorrow.
Go to Green Day.
You went and bought the Dookie album?
Yes.
Did you?
Yeah,
In
but I can remember the cover of it.
Yeah?
I had the Dookie album.
Yeah, me too.
They were huge in high school.
So
for
good.
us.
When I come around.
Oh, such a good CD.
Now I'm serenading Dr. Andrea. We got to go. Thanks again. Here's the deal. Right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line. This is our last crack, at least on this program, isn't it, John?
That's it for us.
Right now on our Luther Bloomington Kia text line, text FUEL, F-U-E-L, 651-989-9393 for your chance to win tickets to Sunday's Metallica show over there at U.S. Bank Stadium. Good luck. This is it, at least from our program. The prize is furnished by Live Nation. We got to get going again.
I know there's not much going on this weekend between the three giant rock shows, everything Metallica's putting together, hanging out and bowling with some members of the morning show tomorrow at Memory Lane, 3 to 6, things like that. But if you got some time tomorrow morning, I'd love to meet you at Apple Ford, Apple Valley, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'll be there. They got a big party going on all weekend, their biggest sale of the year. There's going to be food trucks, games. We're giving away concert tickets. So if you can make it out, it'd be cool. Maybe they'll let us test drive a Raptor together.
Sweet.
And drive over an Escort or something.
What time are you doing a ride-along with the food truck?
I wonder if they'll let me in one of those things. Probably not for hygiene reasons.
A lap around the lot in the, who's that hot dog joint that I like so much? For Christ's sake, I wear the hat. Yes, I wear the hat.
Nathan's?
No. Daryl's Dogs.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll give you a ride around the lot.
That'd be fun.
In the Daryl's Dogs mobile.
Doctor, I had a situation there, so I have some friends that work there at the Ford dealership, and they let me take a Mustang out.
Wow.
In the parking lot. They let me drive in the parking lot.
Couldn't go out of there, huh?
No, so I get to like kind of a dead end. I'm thinking, well, I'll just reverse this son of a gun. It was a manual transmission. I know how to drive a manual. I didn't know how to put it in reverse. It had like this pull-up ring on there that I'd never seen before. So I had to ask a mechanic how you put it in reverse.
Man.
That was very embarrassing, very humbling. But they invited me back.
Good.
So I'm looking forward to it.
They're good people.
Get well soon to Seedman Jesus, Bait Shop Jesus. He texted a shout-out to the Woodbury Police Department. Cops on a Rooftop. They're doing this to benefit the Special Olympics at Dunkin' Donuts in Woodbury. Happy 5th anniversary to Piano Mover Jesus and his beautiful wife tomorrow. Happy 30th birthday to Gage, a.k.a. Carp Muncher Jesus from Mom, Beer Slangin' Jesus. Happy birthday to Captain of the Wiggle Wagons Jesus. He's celebrating this week in Utah, doing some off-roading in his Jeep. Happy birthday to Vanessa, turning the big 07, and then happy 51st to my cousin Ian tomorrow.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.